Joey the queen, ain't no keeping it realer. My stomach stay lean, but that booty be thicker. I'm cuffed with my hubby and snuffing your hitter. My pen is the clip and my finger the trigger. Megan the Stallion and Joey the Panther. I stand on the front lines, I'm holding the banners. I'm pressing the buttons and turning the channels to reset the system to challenge my grammar. Stay show mean, keep a crowd higher than the weed. Got Kendro heading up the team. Pro black, but I'm still about the cream.
Is it showing? Okay, I'm not exactly sure what just happened. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Justifiably Jordan. This is the channel where I give an empathic analysis of all things culture and entertainment, and then I justify why you should, watch and learn for yourself and then draw your own conclusions. I am your host, Jordan Renee, and I want to apologize for being just a little bit late. I have had a lot of things going on. I'm figuring a lot of things out. I'm, you know, working on it, but I apologize that I'm late. Thank you guys so much for being here. Today, I wanted to just do a quick live and talk about interracial dating. I wanted to have a conversation about that because I don't see a lot of conversation around dating outside of just black and white. Do you get what I mean? I see a lot of conversation when it comes to interracial dating, mostly about, black people dating white people and so on and so forth. And thank you, Kiki. I appreciate it. This wasn't actually for this live. I was actually doing makeup just to go and hang out with my sister, but I don't know what she's got going right now, so it is what it is. But I wanted to do a conversation about interracial dating because I am newly single and I'm going through, some things right now. I'm restructuring and I'm figuring out, all the things that I have going on. And sorry, I'm trying to figure all of this out and I'm late. But I I am at a place where I am like almost like not wanting to date black men right now. I don't know if this is going to sound controversial, but I have a lot of reservations about dating black men right now as a trans woman and all of that stuff. So I wanted to talk about, why we don't really hear about people talking about dating outside of their race and only meaning white people, like why we only hear that. And I want to talk about the other cultures that I've interacted with and the other cultures that I found attractive and, just things that just conversations that I would want to have in the future with people. For me, if you've seen me on this channel before, you guys know that I have an affinity and a love for Asian men. I love an Asian man. I think Asian men are so hot. I think Asian men are so sexy. But um I have dated a lot of cultures before, like not any serious relationships or anything like that. Thank you guys. Thank you, Kiki. Thank you, Andrea. I really appreciate it. Um, but I I've dated a lot of cultures. I've dated Hispanic, I've dated Middle Eastern, um I've dated Asian before, but it was like Filipino and things like that. Not that that's like a lower type of Asian or anything, but um, it's just very specific for some reason to me. But I've dated the different types of guys, but I've never actually dated a white guy for some reason. And a part of that for me is a little bit of like pro-black guilt. Um, Actually, a lot of that for me is pro-black guilt. And it's not that I think that every white man that I come in contact with is racist because that's not true. However, I am always apprehensive because I don't want to have the conversation of explaining my plight as a black woman. Like, I already have to explain my plight of being a trans woman to every man I date, regardless of what race they are. So going the extra mile and having to explain, oh yeah, by the way, like it's a little different walking in the room as a black woman, and there's like social cues that people should be aware of, all of those things. Like, Andrea, a girl, call in and tell me what's going on in Toronto because uh, I don't have such a good experience with men from Toronto. I'll put it like that. So, but I don't really have like a preference or a type or a thing like that. Like, I don't have very specific things that I find attractive. So, if I find you attractive, then I find you attractive. It's based on your look individually and less about you being a race of any kind. Do you get what I mean? Um, hey, Andrea,
Hey, how's it going?
what's going on, love? How are you?
Well, come to Toronto. There's lots of diversity, and I'm sure that you would enjoy it here. But you have to look for a long distance relationship.
I'm
That's the thing.
sure. I'm sure at this point because I want to explore diversity. I want to like date all types of different men or
Ah,
whatever the case may be. But I am just frustrated and a little apprehensive about dating black men at this point because I am having the most troublesome time finding black men that are transamorous.
ah, understand. Well, I don't understand because I'm not in your situation, but I understand that you are having frustration.
Yeah, it's hard to find black men that that are willing to date trans women publicly. So, while I get a lot of, while I get the majority of my attention as a newly single person from black men, like I have mostly black men that like hit on me. They're all like down low and they're not open to dating me publicly. So it's like it only can like I could only take it so seriously and it can only go so far because you're only willing to be so open with me. Do you get what I mean?
I do.
Where Whereas I do find down low men in all races. However, the majority, like the ratio of black men who hit me up that are down low is so different from the ratio of men of other races who hit me up that are down low. And then on top of that, it's like also trying to find then it's like when I'm talking to men of other races, it becomes a fetishism issue on top of a trans issue,
Uh,
and then when it comes to black men, it's like it's like a fetishism issue, but it's more so like a down low issue. It's just weird. Dating as a trans
yeah,
woman is hard, girl.
yeah. I mean, there's some. Do you find that there's do you want to be down low or do you want to be just open?
I don't like. Here's the thing, like I'm not one of those people even when I was in a relationship. Like I wasn't somebody who would like post my partner and like post my
I
family and my kid and do all of that, but that was for like very specific reasons.
Yeah.
But I'm not that person who's like huge on PDA and throwing around my relationship and doing all of that, but I don't want somebody who is afraid to go out in public with me. Like I do like to go
I,
out and have dinner. Like I do want to go out on dates. I do want to like have you feel comfortable with me going into Walmart with you. Do you get what I mean?
so you want
Um,
down low.
sorry. Go ahead.
What you so you want the down low as a your personal choice, not because of who you are.
I want the option to be private, but not a secret.
Yes.
Like for me,
Wow.
it's not about
That is an awesome statement.
yeah, like I am a private person. It's not like I run around talking about my relationships or the men that I'm
Yeah.
seeing or the
Yep.
things that I'm
Yep.
doing. You'll never really hear me talk about that. But at the end of the day, like I don't want my relationship to have to be a secret. I want to be able to talk about the fact that I'm in a relationship, or if I want to post a selfie with you, I want to have the option. Do you get what I
Got
mean?
Yeah, no,
Like I don't want it to be off the table.
I completely understand. You want you just want what everybody else wants that's an adult. You want because when you become an adult, meaning that you've been hurt a couple times, you've been through relationships, you want to have that not sacrosanct, but you want to have that cherished spot in the beginning to get to know each other, not in the public eye or not around everybody. But once you're comfortable with it, you want to be able to um
Enjoy it.
yeah, enjoy it and have no bounds about it. And I think that's what we all want. And there's barriers there. And like I said, come to Toronto, because I don't find, and not Toronto's the end all to be all, I'm not saying that, but New York too, like, in but then it comes with, do you want to be, you're in I'm guessing you live in a smaller city.
Yeah, I yes.
So,
Yes.
and I lived in a smaller city when I was younger too. And, my brothers moved back to a very small city. And as much as I like to look at the forest, I'd like to look at it for a couple days, and then I want to hightail it back to the city, because the city is exciting, it's diverse, but it can be daunting for people who've been in a small town. So I think that's your needs and your location might be clashing.
Mhm. It's a big
Have you lived?
yeah.
I don't know you that well. Uh, you know, I've known you in the last couple weeks and months as far as talking. But have you lived in a big city before? I'm sorry to be so basic in
No,
this
you're
question.
fine.
Okay.
No, you're completely fine. I have lived in a I've lived in a small town. I've lived in the suburb like I grew up in the suburbs,
Okay,
right?
got it. Got it. Yep.
So I am experienced with big cities, but I am like somewhere on the in between of like like small towns and
Got
like big city. Like I'm somewhere right there in the middle.
it. Yeah.
Um, so here people just think that I'm a city slicker, basically. Like when I
Uh,
moved here, it was like, oh, you're from the city. I was like, not exactly. I'm from the cul-de-sacs, but okay, whatever.
yeah.
Um,
Got it.
but I definitely like all the places that I've lived have had a more wider brand or bandwidth of thinking, or at least it was, I guess, more comfortable to be yourself. But I think I don't even know how to judge my past life with my life now, because before, just living as a gay man, it was a lot easier.
Mm,
Like like yes, I went through a lot of different things living as a gay man, but then but it I wasn't as hyper aware of everything around me, or as hyper aware of my interactions with men
mm,
until I started living as a woman, right?
mm, mm-hmm.
Like now I'm just like I'm more hyper aware. I'm super nervous about everything. I'm very paranoid, and it's like my
Well,
agoraphobia spikes when it comes
I,
to dating.
where I work for an airline, there's two gentlemen that were born as gentlemen that are now females, and one um was a drag was in the drag community, and another one was not, and they worked in the airlines. One worked um as a more feminine, um presented themselves, and then one is more masculine, female. And it was very interesting to see how um they you know they they thrived, they as they came out as themselves. And I noticed them not because of who they are as female. I had noticed them because of their energy, as they were happy of being who they are, and
Hmm.
that glowed with them. And I think that's why I've called in, and why I've talked to you in the past, is that you glow. And I know there's a lot of hardship there, and we have some commonality. And that's what I like about the internet, and where I've worked at you know places with people from around the world, is that you can have these conversations. And I'm telling you, I think you're going to have some time to figure out. You have a child, you have uh, a lot of things that I don't know about, but you need to figure out w- your surroundings. And if you want to date and you want to go for that, where is the audience that you want to go to.
Hmm.
Like, where who is going to be fabulously enough for Jordan.
And see, that's the thing. Like, I'm a very simple chick. Like, I'm very
You
low
are,
maintenance. I
ways.
am. Like, I'm really simple. I'm very chill. Like, I'm not materialistic. I don't need a man to be like rich or whatever. Blah 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 blah. I I do appreciate chivalry like any
Yeah,
other woman, but I'm not someone who's like, you need to make 8 figures to deal with me, and you gotta have a
but
bag, and you gotta drive a certain kind of car, and all this type of stuff. Like, I don't care about none of that stuff, as long as you're like able to support yourself and have some sort of vision, and you're a good person, and you're a gentleman, and you treat me like a fucking woman. Sorry,
yeah,
but
no, absolutely.
like that's really all I really care about. So like a man doesn't necessarily have to be fabulous, he just has to be a good person.
Yeah.
He just has to be a good dude. Like that's really all I care about. um I
Well,
It's just weird because the dynamics and the energy of the interactions that I have with men are so weird, plus on top of the fact like I haven't dated in over 10 years because the
wow.
relationship I'm just getting out of, I was with that man since I was 19 years old. I'm 30 now.
And
And
that's a
before
whole
him,
other
hmm,
problem. Not problem. No, it is a problem because
it is a problem. you,
yeah, it is
you
because you
who can say it?
dated when you were 19 and you're a whole decade more, and that's a very important decade of growth.
I'm a completely
With
different person. It's so
Yes.
weird.
Yeah, we all are. And maybe I know that you want to meet somebody right away, but have you maybe during the last decade you found yourself? I don't know. Like, have you you seem really fresh and really vibrant today, and I'm happy for you. So I want you to see what if you could date somebody today, what would you want
Hey, Miss
to
Bernice.
it's
Hey,
not what you
hey,
want to date. What are you Oh, hello.
hello.
Hey, sorry I'm taking up all the time.
No, you're
If
fine,
No,
baby.
no, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
We do group chats here.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. Um, if you wanted to date some today, instead of putting on what's on your bucket list, put on what's not on your bucket list. I
Mm,
think that's an important crossroads because when you're younger, you're like, I want to date this, and this, as opposed to, I don't want to date this negative person, this, sociopath that sucks the life out of me,
hmm.
that kind of stuff. Like the person who's the me person. Because the
That's what I'm learning now.
yeah. So I think maybe looking at it from that way,
Hmm.
by all means, it's not easy. But if you're opening up your horizon, then you have to look at what you don't want, not what you want.
Right.
All Okay. I
No, that makes complete sense because I am finding that that's my approach to even
Good.
interacting with men now. Like it's more so about like, okay, like I don't want a man that's down low. I don't want a man that's transphobic. I don't want a man that's, you know, um, afraid to be in public with me, even though I'm still a private person. Like I don't want a
And
man who is not affectionate or self-aware or like there's a list of things, but I just like I because my things that I do want are so simple and the things that I'm attracted to are so broad, it leaves me to only really look at the things that I don't want. Do you get what I mean?
yeah, I do. I do. And
Hey, Miss Bernice. Sorry.
Hey.
I
Hi.
you chime
What's
in.
going on, man?
How we're gonna get him dating? What do you think, Bernice? Who should
I
we
think
set
it's
up?
I think it's great, and you should take it slow because you said you
Yeah.
just came out of a 10-year relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So you want someone new. You don't want someone you just got finished dealing with.
Yes.
So
And I
it's going
think
it's going to take some time. for
Yes.
you to decipher between like I'm attracted to this person, but those person has the same qualities as my ex. I don't want that.
And,
Yeah.
and Bernice, don't you think it might take a lot longer than Jordan thinks? Because 10 years is a lot to, as much as you psychologically have got out of it, your heart and soul. Because who wants to be your first date after a 10-year relationship?
I can imagine that.
Right.
So
Right.
maybe take dating as flirting and a lot of not superficial dates, but I know you're.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
Because I
got it.
really just want to have fun.
Okay, good. Good, good.
Like, like,
Good.
like I don't want a new relationship per
Okay,
se.
good,
Like,
good.
I really just want to like I really just want affection
Yeah.
and like I want to like feel pretty and like be like told
Yeah.
I'm cute and like
And you
get
look
giddy
good
about a guy.
today.
Just like random stuff, but not like something serious. Like I'm like just chilling right now. Like I'm enjoying di- di- discovering all these new things about myself. Like since the things have happened, I've like learned all of these new things about myself, and it just feels like I feel like a newer person even coming out of the relationship than I do as someone who looks back at the person that they were 10 years ago.
You
Like,
are because you're a
Yeah.
different mindset. You said you was 19 when you met this person. You're
mhm.
now 29.
Well, I'm
You're not
30 now.
or okay,
Freshly 30, but same
freshly
thing.
30. So
Oh, happy
you're
belated.
at a different stage of your life. You have grown. You're a new Jordan. You're not the same Jordan you was when you was 19.
Mhm.
You're changing. And my thing is, baby, date yourself.
Yeah,
Wow. That's a great, great
thank you.
advice.
I'm working on it. I am just like, I think I spend too much time with myself. So sometimes I get tired of just being in tune with myself. Like like I'm my own best friend. Like
Mhm.
I hang with myself all the time. I talk to myself not in a creepy way, but like I but like I'm very just like in tune with the person that I am and the person that I want to be, and I feel like I'm constantly working on myself. So
Mhm.
sometimes I kind of want to just step outside of that and just, be cute and just, have a guy gush over me and feel like, oh,
Right.
that's really cute to feel powerful for a second. Like I like maybe I just want to flex the feminine wiles a bit, but I'm
Yeah.
having trouble doing that with black men. That's the whole point of this life.
Ah, okay.
Uh,
So if the black men are not doing it for you, and where you're living, is there a community that could be something else, or something you could the dating pool? I think you're frustrated with the dating pool. Is that it?
Yeah. Well, it's
Got it.
not. Well, yeah, because men of other
I've been
races don't
there.
really hit me up here, right? Like the the majority of the attention that I receive is from black men, but the problem is that the majority of those black men are down low, and that
Yeah,
is just not
not
attractive
fun.
to me. Like, mind you, it it it's it's tolerable for the moment because I don't want anything serious. But at the end of the day, like I'm not just dealing with people just to deal with them.
Oh,
Like like I do actually want to get to know new people. So even if we're friends or if we're romantic, I still don't want you to be like ducking and dodging when you riding in my car because you're scared that your children's mom is gonna see you. Like that is just not, that's just team too much.
uh,
well, then you're perfect candidate for long distance tryst. You know,
I need an eat, pray, love something,
yes,
yeah.
I think
something or other.
this is your eat, pray, love moment where, expand yourself. New York, Chicago, Toronto, like something that has some diversity that and that have cheap flights to Atlanta. no,
It's funny that
yeah.
it's funny that you're saying Toronto because like I've heard that Toronto is very like trans accepting and it's
Oh,
like very like
completely.
diverse and open and like there's a lot of options there. Jan, hi, sweet pea. Um, I haven't really made a big deal about this, but I am technically still married, but I'm going through a divorce right now. Me and my husband have separated. And so I am, just kind of pushing past and keeping it moving, and we're just co-parenting and being friends and just keeping it pushing and
That's good.
trying to be as amicable as possible. However, the reason why it's so easy for me to kind of just jump into like playing with dating right now is because I kind of have been preparing for this for a year. Like, I kind of felt that this was coming for a long time. So, like, psychologically, I've been preparing for the end of my marriage for a long time.
Oh,
So, once it finally came, it was like, oh, okay, well, okay, well, at least I was mentally kind of like dealing with it within myself before it became like something that where it's like out of the blue. Do you get what I'm
right.
saying?
You was prepared.
Yeah,
And
like I mentally prepared for it because I felt like it was coming for such a long time. I didn't want to sit here while I did hold out hope and and did continue to try and have faith and pray about it and like all of that stuff. I am a Virgo. So when my Virgo gets to Virgoing, it becomes a thing of like you see what it is, even though you
Mm-hmm.
hope it's not what you see. Do
Oh,
you
mhm.
get what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. My brother Virgo, I know. I
Hey, bruh.
know.
Sounds like you need like a long distance trip. Come on. Like whether
I'm
it's
open
on
to it. Like I've
you should
dibbled
go
and
on
dabbled. I entertained a man from the Toronto area, but that's a whole nother story.
okay.
Shout out to you if you're watching this. But um I just yeah, like I'm not like I'm open to it. I'm cool, but I am a person who does like really appreciate affection, and I like because I'm looking for all the things that I haven't been getting in my marriage, even though I am not looking for something as serious as such, right? So like I want the affection, I want the chivalry, I want the feminine like engagement. Like I want to be seen and interacted with as a woman that you're attracted to. Do you get me? So like I'm figuring all of that out, but I don't want to be ducking and dodging and hiding and pulling on back roads and doing all of these secret dipping and dodging things just to kick it with you. Like I ain't trying to hide to kick it. Clock your references, children. But 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 I want like just because I don't want anything serious and because I'm a private person doesn't mean that I want to be dating in secret and like ducking in shadows and hiding in
Right.
hotel rooms and
No,
doing all of
no.
that stuff. Like I still want to go on dates and go and eat wings at the Buffalo Wild Wings and watch the football game. Even though I don't like football, I like learning about football from the dudes I liked.
You know what, Jordan? I think this is your gap year.
Oh, that sounds so appropriate.
Mm.
It really is. Like, I've had my gap year, from school, from relationships, whatever. This is your gap year and treat it as that. And if you put that out when you're, a lot of dating sites or hookup sites or whatever, just saying, I'm looking for something that's fresh, that's, fun, and and when it's long distance, honestly, well, I can't say 10 times out of 10, but 9 times out of 10 people know it's for a fling. It's for something that it's in between a serious relationship to another serious relationship, because most long distance don't work out. Not
Right.
like it's not 90-day fiance. That's just, a no
I
Oh,
go.
will leave that to Kempire. I do not have
really?
time for
Oh,
that
Exactly.
foolishness. We
I
no.
finally got Kempire free, and I want to leave him as such, and I'm not trying to replace him in that trap. I do not volunteer his tribute. Clock your references,
and
children. So, girl, listen.
I've had
Mm.
in my past, relationship, three relationships in Europe, and I'm from Canada, and I had the last one was from Florida, and he was totally opposite from me. But it's what you need sometimes. It's something to break something up. So maybe you just need a gap year, and if you put it out there that this is what I want to be flirty, I want to be free, I want to be dating, I want to have some fun, and I want to have something that's different from where I live right now.
Right.
There's lots of, and you know what? As you sit there, Jordan, there's lots of people who are like you that are sitting somewhere else like that. It could be
Ooh, shit.
Seattle. It could be,
Right.
you don't. All I can say is I worked for an airline, so it was easier for me. But when you're looking for something that you want to tryst for a while, look at something that's from Atlanta. Well, Atlanta, you can fly to anywhere, but
Hmm.
look at your lifestyle, what works for you, and for your is it your daughter's schedule,
Hmm.
that type of stuff. You want to look at something that you can get away for a day or two, or if you can get away for more, and look in that area. Look at that's around you, and you'll find New Orleans. Like I
Ah,
don't know. Like I'm
oh,
sorry, I'm
that's dangerous for me because listen. I love oh
I
I
like New
love
Orleans.
a man. I love a man from New Orleans, baby.
And what was
Ooh.
Jesus,
what's that?
Jesus.
I went to New Orleans once, and what was the parade? Crew de Vue. Best
Mm.
time ever. Best time ever. Like everybody's drinking, smoking dope, and watching the thing. And this is by first night in New Orleans, and I'm like, this is the place to be, But it's a fantasy, but it's something that we're adults, and
Mm.
this is
Right.
our adult world. So right now, you're an adult fantasy. Just as long as you don't think that it's complete reality for life. That's all.
Yeah. See, I think
That
I may take that a little bit too far. Sorry, baby. Go
that
ahead, Miss Brittany.
that that could be your gift to yourself. Your
Yeah,
Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras.
yeah, that's a goal.
Mm,
That is fair. And
mm.
that is fair. I'm gonna consider that
Crew de
just
Vue.
because
Crew
I
de Vue.
I listen. I just need to get somewhere and have some damn fun.
Right.
Crew
But
de
like I'm
Vue.
so focused on like rebuilding my life right now. Like I'm worried about getting my kids stable. I'm worried about me getting stable, finding a place, doing all of these other things, which also lends into the reason why I'm not looking for anything serious. It's because I have more important things to focus on.
And
So, oh, sorry, go ahead.
um yeah, sorry to interrupt, but I think that's what you're doing because by chatting with us, it's taking away that anxiety from your family. So, and you're expressing it. So you're
Hmm.
letting it out, and that's helping your family by being an adult and talking to other adults about how you're feeling. And you know, you sound like a family man. Devoted to your children, and that's the most important thing.
Hmm.
But you also have to recognize that you have to take care of yourself. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not sure what it's like in America. I know in Canada it's always about the children every day, and that's completely great. But I look at my cousins in Europe, and ev- everybody has a day. Excuse me. Everybody has a day that is one day for the daughter, one day for the son, one day for the mother, one day for the father during the week where they go out, and the daughter might have dance classes, um but the father of the town wants to make sure that he's in municipal things. Like everybody has to be part of the community, and that's what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Sorry if that don't know if that
No,
makes sense.
don't
Jordan,
apologize, child.
jo,
We get
jo,
long-winded over here.
I'm
Yes,
jo,
Canadian.
ma'am.
do
That's
you
what
like
we
cruises?
apologize.
I love cruises. I've only been on like one in my life, but it was the time of my life. I really want to go on another
Right.
one
You should
because,
look into that
Yeah.
because I know the coming the new year. I know the Jacksons are sponsoring like a soul cruise.
Ooh.
oh,
Mm.
okay, listen.
Yes.
And
This may need to be an excursion because I
Yes.
just, this may need to be an excursion. Maybe I don't need to focus on dating. Maybe I need to just focus on flying out somewhere and just being a little thotty bop for a week or two.
yes.
Cause
Hello.
I just,
Yes.
cause like, cause
Oh.
like
But you have to be with the
I
right person.
legit. Well, yeah, of course, but I legitimately feel like I'm 16 again. Like,
Oh.
and it's because I am like I feel like I'm experiencing all the things that I experienced in my actual like puberic times,
Yep.
but
Mhm.
I'm
As
experiencing, excuse me, them all as a woman for the first time.
Mhm.
yeah.
Like I'm experiencing like doing all of these things, being seen as myself for a long, and that's the other part of it.
Now
I
I
really just want to interact with someone who sees me as I am now and doesn't
Right.
have any type of reference to me pre-transition. Like I
let me tell you though, men or women are treated different than men because
I get that.
when I when your experience as a prepubescent as a man and now as a woman, it's different, and also your age. So there's two things, and now I understand how, not that you need support, but trying to work through it, because that's
Hmm.
um but you know what, I say that, and I come from, I'm in my late 40s, almost 50, and it's a different mindset. You're, in your 30s, and your generation, who you're attracted to, is going to be, well, I'm guessing towards your age, they might have a different mindset.
Mm,
Maybe
actually,
not.
I like older men.
I
Cruise. Go on the
do.
cruise.
I
Go on the
do.
cruise.
I really like grown ass men, like because I am like I
Yeah.
subscribe to the whole women mature faster than men thing, and being that I've
Mhm.
always psychologically processed as a woman, like I feel like I've matured faster than a lot of the men around me, and so I just like there are just certain things I don't want to have certain conversations about, like generally older men are experienced with trans women if they're out here looking for trans women at that age, right? Most
Yeah.
of the time they have their shit together. Mind
Yeah.
you, I'm not low maintenance, but I am not trying to be struggling as someone as 30 with somebody who is 50.
In K Michelle song, I can't raise a man. I'm not. No, baby. No. No.
Like there's just
No.
certain things I don't want to deal with, and there's just certain things that I'm over. Like one, I'm also 30, so I don't want to deal with a dude who is in his 20s who still acts like he's 17.
Mm-mm.
Like
Well,
I would rather just go ahead
none
for a
of us
dude in
do.
his mid 30s who is closer to having his shit together mentally, but who actually probably has his shit together physically. Like
Because
it's just like less I have to address on the bullet point list. Do you get what I
Jordan,
mean?
can I say something? And you are really a
Sure.
woman, because now you understand women's relationship with men. You are
This is
really,
how I've always thought though. Like I've
and
always
you are
thought like
really a
this.
woman, because women of all kind, of all races, of, any disposition, like, I mean, rich, poor, whatever, skinny, fat, successful, whatever, women understanding men, that's hard, because, and I agree with you, I always have liked men at least 10 years or older. And in fact, not just men, I'm not, um I'm heterosexual, but I mean, as far as bonds with people, I've always liked people who are older, because
Hmm.
they're wiser and they're more forgiving, and they've been where you've been, and they're a bit easier to have a relationship with.
Hmm.
So, okay, so we need a 40-year-old man for you
Yes. Preferably.
that's in
Preferably, I would
flying
like him to be
distance,
40.
who,
I don't have a type when it comes to looks and things like that. That stuff I
me
really don't
not.
care about. Like, I like men of all races, but I do have a strong affinity for Asian men. I
Ah,
love an Asian. Like, listen, if y'all could find me a man that looks like Simu Liu,
well, he's
Ooh.
Toronto.
oh my God. Oh my God. Sorry.
My friend actually went to the premiere and met him and have pictures with him. He sounds like a really, you know what? Toronto has many, many men like Simu. Like, I'm not saying that Simu's not special, but there's many, many men like that up in Toronto. Just
That
go.
man is beautiful. Do you hear me? That man is
He is.
everything. Oh,
But you know what?
Simu,
There's
I don't
many
know if you
men like
married or not, but if you
Toronto.
single, call me. No.
But
Listen.
come up to Toronto, come up to Vancouver. I when I talk to Seam, or when he's interviewing, it's like being with many people that I work with or I be with. Like if that's your type, and I'm not saying because I'm from Toronto, but if that is really your type, like Simu is a
Yeah, that's
quintessential Toronto guy.
if I had to classify a type for myself, it would be Simu Leo,
Okay.
Cole Walliser, just look him up, and Trevor Noah.
Oh, I
Oh,
like Trevor.
okay. Trevor.
Oh,
Those are my type. Those are
he's
my types.
he's South African and half Swiss, and I love
Mhm.
that about him. And I love
Mhm.
Trevor Noah. He has a spark. I agree.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
God. And like it doesn't have anything to do with like looks or
No.
color or height or whatever because to me I found a sexy man in every race that there is. I have found a sexy man in every skin complexion. I have found a sexy man in every nationality. Like that doesn't matter to me. I like if I find you attractive, I find you attractive. So it's not even like features like you being tall or this that and the third, which is
Hmm.
why I wanted to have this conversation because like
You
I've
like
been
a humble
having this
guy.
conversation in private, and people have been looking at me like I'm crazy when I say I just don't want to date black men right now. And like people have been looking at me like, bitch, what?
I can tell you who you like.
Oh.
You like the humble, nice guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's extremely, extremely intelligent. Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or well, I mean, extremely intelligent is like rocket science, but you want
Well, sorry.
you want somebody who is from Canada. No, I'm just joking.
This has become a
No,
Canadian tourism ad. Shout out to all of
Hmm.
no
the
kidding.
fine
I'm
ass
sorry.
Right.
Canadians
I'm
out
sorry.
there.
I'm
We
sorry.
see you, and my
But when
DMs and my comments are open.
yeah, well, then you need to go on some Canadian sites and look at it. Or I mean, Trevor Noah's South, South African and Swiss, but I always find that combination really interesting because I'm part Swiss, and it's interesting because when I went to Africa, I went to Kenya, and there's a Swiss man there, and
Mm.
he was dating a beautiful African woman, and it just reminded me of it was really destined. So, however, Trevor's story about how his parents met each other was beautiful, and how he grew up and he embraced both nations was beautiful too. And
And you know
Simu
what's? Oh,
was,
sorry.
he's a humble guy, and he honestly, I'm not saying this as a line, but he represents most guys or gals in Canada, at least in the GTA,
Well,
which we
y'all are
call the
known for being
Greater
nice.
Toronto Airport or Greater Toronto area. We're all like this. Like, you look at nice, nice, easygoing people and
So I need to get
that
my
are
shit
tolerant.
together and move to Toronto and put my daughter in Degrassi. Basically, is what you're saying.
Well,
Ha ha
like,
ha
funny,
ha
funny
ha.
enough that you say Degrassi, because the Degrassi High School is literally uh, a, a, about a, about 400 yards away from where I live, like the original Degrassi High School. And the Degrassi High School, the person who created it, I used to play tennis with her, Susan.
ah, like
So,
for reference,
yeah,
Joey from from
The
Degrassi, Craig's
grassy.
yeah,
stepfather. Yeah, Joey, my
yes.
type,
There you
my
go.
type,
There you go. Well, look
one
at
hundred
how
percent.
many, and yeah, it is a cross promotional Canadian, like an
Shout out to
Ontario.
Canada, girl. Book me.
Right.
Well, look at we got Drake, got the Weekend. We're
Hmm.
close to. They're not too shabby.
I love
Um,
Abel.
we have a lot of comedians coming here, from Jim Carrey to the guys who created Ghostbusters to there is a lot. I mean, I've left out some other people in between, but we I have to say I'm pretty, I've traveled a lot around the world. I guess what I'm proud of is when my relatives come to here to Toronto or to thing, they love it and they don't want to leave. So that's a nice compliment.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have always heard amazing things about Canada. I need to get my shit together and get a passport and get
If
over
you
there,
love,
apparently.
I'll tell you the times to come to Toronto. And with after pandemic, if you want to have a really good time, come during the summertime because there's lots of festivals.
Mhm.
Caravana is unbelievable. Other than the Caribbean, they come up in droves. Also,
Mhm.
gay pride. It's the second largest in the world. It's the end of June. It's
Mhm.
fantastic. Or if you come up at Halloween, the best Halloween place I ever went to was on Church Street in the gay district. Unbelievable. They have a big stage and it's so much fun. And it's a great, great place to be.
Nice.
Yeah, but Toronto's much more than that. Like Toronto has so many, ethnicities. I've eaten Afghani food, food from Ethiopia, celebrated festivals from Poland. Like, you really get to know lots and lots of people. And no matter if you don't have a lot in common, you always find something a little bit in common, and which I like. And it's a safe city too. Like comparably, it's the third or fourth largest city in North America, including the States, and I have to say, I can walk the streets at night many times and feel comfortable, no problem.
I love that. So pretty much this has gone from a chat about how I don't want about how I'm going on a sabbatical from black men to I'm moving to
Mhm.
Canada.
Yes, pretty
Oh,
much.
oh, well, I'm about to pitch Detroit in here now. I live in
Uh,
Detroit.
okay, baby, throw
Okay.
me
Oh,
Detroit
Detroit.
Okay.
because I'm not off black men.
Right.
I just want a
We,
transamorous black man
right. We
who
have
preferably went to an HBCU and was in a
right.
frat. But let's
Hello.
not, whatever.
We have our festivals too. We have our international like freedom festival that we share with Canada
Yes,
because we ride across the river, Windsor.
yes.
Hello. And our Pride Week is wonderful. When they have it at Hart Plaza downtown.
Hmm.
We have a bunch of festivals in the summer, like the Rib and Soul Festival. Goo gobs of beautiful black men. Yes, yes.
Cause see, here's the thing. Like, and I don't want this live to look like I'm bashing black men. I'm
Mm,
not. I love
No,
black
no,
men. I
mhm.
no.
honestly like if I could find me a nice Frank Mitchell type
Right.
from Moesha and who looks like Q but is actually like Frank,
Yeah.
baby, I would be so happy.
Right.
Like I would love to have me an Alpha Phi Alpha. Holla if you hear me.
Hello.
But I just, but they just don't seem to want me,
Mm,
or they don't seem to want me in public. They want me in their bedrooms and in their kitchens because they find out I can cook, and then
mm,
all of a sudden it's a whole nother mess after that. But they don't
Totally.
actually want to be in a relationship with
mm.
me, mind you. Not that I'm looking for one, but I'm also not like I'm not trying to date in closets, child. I ain't got
No.
time. I
No,
haven't been
never.
in a closet since I was 12.
Mm,
Like,
No.
cut the mess.
So we've got you two. You've talked to two people, lovely Bernice in Detroit,
mhm.
myself in Toronto. So we've got two gap year destinations for you. Not saying
Right.
you have to fly to different, gap destinations or whatever, but you know, there are places that being close to Atlanta that you can fly to, which is in a couple hours, and have a couple day, off of your life,
Hmm.
Right.
as we know it, and that's what you need right now.
Child, y'all have
But
no
but
idea.
like you Atlanta. Like I said,
I,
the cruises. You right
yeah.
there at the
Yes,
Caribbean, boo.
cruises. Yeah.
Get you a week cruise where your baby
Listen.
is situated, like when she's on break,
Hmm.
and book you a week cruise and just
But
deal with
but what?
Jordan.
But Bernice, what if she doesn't like? What if Jordan doesn't like bed? She can't get off the boat. She can
But
get off.
she have the different ports where they're gonna be
Okay.
stopping at.
That's true.
when
That's
we get
true.
off the boat where
Right.
we get off where I am booking it to the first bar that I can
Yes.
find
Yes.
Yeah, fair
and
enough.
just
Because
some
I
because my cousin, she's ex-military. She lived by cruises. She love them. She
I love
loved
that.
them.
I'm just hoping I don't catch my doggone parents on a cruise because they do like 2 cruises a year, and I would hate to be around here trying to slip and slide and end up getting with my parents. Like
no, no, that's
no,
bad.
ma'am.
That's
Because
bad.
like mind you, I don't necessarily have the best relationship with my well, I
Right.
don't necessarily have an existing relationship with my parents right now. So I would hate to just pop up down to the Miami real quick to load on a boat and then just pop up and see my parents on the poop deck. Girl, no ma'am.
No. Well, look into
And I
those,
really
like I
can't get off
said,
the
those
boat.
themed cruises, the 70 souls and stuff like that. You said you like older men.
Listen, I've been wanting to do a Tom Joy in the morning cruise,
Hello.
baby. I
Hello.
listen, listen. I would be all up and through the Tom Joy in the morning. I would be
Yes.
all up and through the Ricky Smiley cruise, honey. I would be all up and
Yes.
through, honey. Yes, God.
So
Whew.
look into that for next year for you.
I think I will do that because I don't do stuff like that for me. Like I do stuff like
Yeah,
that for my kid. So like I think I do need a vacation, Joe.
Yeah, that's why, like I said, you're dating yourself. You're a new person. So you
Yeah.
yeah,
got your horizon is different from when you was 19. Now that you're 30, that's what I meant by dating yourself. Going out your comfort zone, boo.
You're
Bernice,
right though,
right?
because it's like I have not I feel like I am just now realizing the woman that I've grown into is okay because it's like for the past 10 years, it's like the person that I've been growing into is I guess so vastly different from the person that I was that it felt like it was maybe like a culture shock to my ex.
Mhm.
Even
Mhm.
though it feels like this is who I've always been, I just haven't had the opportunity, the resources, or the courage to just stand up and live in it as authentically as I do now.
Right.
But
But can I? I'm going to interject. Do you know who's
mhm,
noticed? Is your daughter.
God, I hope so.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that the first trip that you take, she's going to be happy for you. But she'll miss you, but she'll be happy because she knows that you will be happy. And I look at it from my parents. I mean, listen, I my parents are 85 and I'm blessed that they're both still here. And I live
Mm.
beside them. And every day I visit them, I consider myself a day blessed. And that's the most important thing. And I really think that by being close to them is important, and what makes them happy makes me happy. And I think that's with most children in many, many ways. What do you think, Bernice?
Yeah.
I think that that's what's most important is whatever makes, and that goes with loved ones too. But I think people don't understand that children, you're always parents always trying to make children happy. But I also think that children want to see their parents happy because when they see their parents happy, it makes them feel happy so much more than you would think.
Yeah, because it makes them more secure.
Yes, yes, yeah,
Because if mama happy, I'm happy. That means I'm
yeah,
protected.
yes.
That's what I'm struggling with right now, and that's what I hope that my daughter comes to because when I
Oh, yeah.
explained to her that I wasn't going to be living at the house anymore, it really hurt her, right?
Mm,
Mhm.
And especially because
of course.
her father is a truck driver. He's gone, 2, 3 weeks out of the month, right? And mind you, he's still an amazing father. Like it's not like he's present and he's a great dad and all of those things. He just
Mhm.
doesn't get to spend the physical time with her that he would like to because he's out there working and doing his thing, right?
Right.
So I'm the one that's there with her every day, right? Like I'm the one that takes her to school in the morning, picks her up, or like does all those things or whatever, blah blah blah, runs her to cheerleading practice,
Mhm.
and you know I like does all of those things. So like it's hard when now even that is taken away from you. Where it's like, yes, I still pick you up from school every day, blah 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 blah. We do all of those things. We we let go to the park and do all of those things, but she can't just walk in my room and come kick it with me whenever she wants to now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that's the hard part because like she's one
Mm.
of those kids that when she's bored, she'll just come see what I'm doing. Like she'll just come play with me. She'll just come turn on the Proud Family and just come watch TV with me instead of like going outside to play or like do all of those things. She'll want me to be out there doing it with her. So if
Mhm.
I'm not there, now it's like now her dad isn't there all the time and now her mom is gone too. And it
Yeah,
just feels like it feels like she has no center of gravity. And that's the part that I feel guilty about.
understand.
So it's hard for me to like jump into my eat, pray, love. Right now, I'm just stuck at the pray
Yeah.
part.
Mhm.
Like
Well,
I'm just right on the pray part.
Well,
But
well, let's put an example like you going through a transition,
mhm, quite literally.
like quite literally. But your transition is better because you're interacting. You have a positive interaction with your daughter. For those like, let me use Robin as as example.
Okay.
When she told her son that she didn't have to have it together and that she needed a life coach, and her son is looking at her, he had this look on his face like that's when she took his protection away.
Hmm.
He's looking at her like, Mama, you're supposed to have it together because you are my protection.
Exactly.
When
He
she
started
told
feeling a
him
little
that,
safe a little
yeah.
bit.
right, you took his stability and his away from him. You're not doing that. You
I
understand?
appreciate I appreciate that
I agree.
because that's the one thing I never with I never want to do. Like I don't like I didn't even want to get on live and cry in front of you guys. What makes you think that I'm sitting here crying in front of my kid? Like my kid
Mm.
doesn't like I technically haven't even told her that we're not together. I just told her that I'm not living there. And it's all so complicated because all she knows is me being okay. Like
And
I've
you,
never like broken down in front of her. Like I
Mm.
don't try like I really try my hardest to to maintain that child superhero status
Mhm.
that your children see you as. Like, have I slipped and made mistakes or done things that weren't of the utmost character? Absolutely. But I feel like that's always my goal is to be the person that like my like daughter looks back and is like my mom went through some crazy stuff, but at the end of the day, she like I would have never known had I not looked back and seen it for myself, or like had
Right.
you know someone not told me, or like this that, and the third. Like she never showed it, and that's really what I want. But holding that in is hard,
Or
bro.
but kids are resilient and kids are smarter than you think.
true, Bernice, but also you're right, Jordan. You got to keep it in because
Yeah.
I look at my parents and they're still together and I admire them and if
Wow. Hey, babe.
not your child. Hello. And
Hello.
Hey,
and I
everybody.
look at and if your parents can keep it together as long as they can, at least until you're an adult in a stable place, that's your goal as a parent. And that becomes foremost of over everything.
Yeah.
Because you can do your eat pray love, but the eat pray love didn't have a child.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's why I'm stuck on the eating and the praying part. I ain't really gotten
Yes.
to the love part of that yet, but
Mm.
this eating and this praying, oh baby,
You
Well,
got
you
that
got to
on
get
lock.
there.
I'm proficient in this
Yeah.
eating and this praying. Okay,
Well, you got to get
but
there. The loving part has to come, but you've got to work.
organically,
You've got to work for it, meaning that
that
you've got to be patient.
yeah. Chime in, Kiki, because I'm finna
Yeah.
babble on for another 10 minutes. Go ahead, Mama.
Well, I just wanted to come in and say hey to everybody.
Hey. You got
And
a beautiful smile. Ooh.
Yes,
oh,
she
thank
does.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, y'all so sweet. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's early in the morning. I mean, well, afternoon. It's morning for me
Li-
because I just got up. But
I feel you.
but yeah, I just wanted to talk about because I had to leave for a second. So I didn't hear. I haven't heard maybe like the past 20, 30 minutes. But I do want to speak to what you said being about it being hard dating, and how you're exploring more interracial dating and stuff like that. As a black woman and as a dark skinned black woman, I have never had a lot of success with black men. I'm just being honest. Um, yeah, it's just not that hasn't happened for me, unfortunately. Usually when I do get in relationships with black men, they either don't appreciate me or they try to belittle me because I'm less desirable. So and they reinforce those things on me and I just dip. Like I'm out. Like I'm not taking that from anybody, especially not a black man. In my mind, I try to uplift my people as much as I can. I uplift everybody, but especially people who look like me because I know from experience what it feels like to live in this skin and be treated differently. So I have not had the best success in relationships with black men. Um, but with that being said, I haven't had success in relationships with anybody, to be honest. Like, and
Mm,
a huge part of it is because I tend to go for the person that doesn't necessarily give me that same energy that I give. And I want to teach
mm.
that person how to love, and it's a lot. It's a mess.
Baby,
So,
baby, 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 baby. Let me tell you, I'm 55. I'll be 56 next month. You have to change your mindset.
oh, I have now, but I'm just saying in the past, that's what I attracted. I attracted people who were like they showed me all these beautiful things and they love bombed me, to be honest. That's how it would go. It would be so much love and so much care and I care about you and this, that, and the third. And then once I fall in love with that person back, maybe 3, 4, 6 months sometimes, people hide themselves. People pretend up until a certain point, and then eventually they start to show who they really are.
Mm.
And that's the trap I tend to fall into.
Yeah.
I tend to be manipulated very easily by men because they show me one thing and then it's like once I get comfortable and it's like, oh, like I actually love you back, they're like, okay, bet, like now I can stop pretending. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I don't have to work for anything now. Like now she
Yes,
loves
I
me,
got you
I'm
now.
going nowhere. Yeah, like now
Got
I
him.
got her. Like, and then it's like
Is this before or after you done gave up the cookie?
this is after I gave up the cookie. But that's another thing too. I've never given up the cookies to anybody. Well, except for one situation. I ain't never gave the cookie to nobody unless I was talking to them for at least 3 months. But that's my point though. I make them work for it. But then it's like you realize that they was working for it and they were pretending the entire time. So it's like
They put in a lot of fucking
but
work.
exactly,
Yeah.
but that's my point though. It's like so I don't understand like if
That's the
this
part that
is who you
gags me too,
were.
though.
Well,
That's
Exactly.
the part that
I
gags me too, is
don't
how much
understand.
work they will put in for some ass.
yeah.
Just to deceive
Well, it's
you. And that's what bothers me about it. It's
how
like
old are you? How old are you?
I'm 25. I just turned 25 this year. Well,
Okay, you're
22.
25. In the
Yes.
age group that you're in, their whole nature is to get as much cookie as they can
Yes.
and move on to the next cookie.
You're
Yeah,
right.
that's
Which is
true.
why I'm surprised that they put in so much work for it, because I
That's
would think
that's
that
what
at that age, there's
No.
so much free coochie out there that they can go
Oh
out there and
no,
get it
exactly.
wherever
no,
they
no,
want
It's
it.
because
not it's
like
a
you said,
mind
like
game.
she said, she don't give it up until after 3 months. They already
At
in
least. That's what's
for the
crazy.
thrill of the hunt.
Yeah.
For the
Jamila
thrill
just
of the
said the
hunt.
same thing. They
For
like
the
to
Yeah.
thrill
work
of the
for it.
hunt. They go
And
For
work.
see, that's the thing that I go through too, is because if you ask about me and in North Carolina, back when I was like dating before my husband, everybody will tell you that I was a tease, because like
Hmm.
I was the person who would, like, I flirt, I give you all the things of the things, I give you the full
yes,
girlfriend
same.
experience, but I will not sleep with you until we are in a monogamous relationship.
Right.
Right.
Period. Like, so I'm always called the tease, but like men would always chase me forever and then
Exactly.
date me for a
Hello.
month and a half and then it'd be done for. Like,
Right,
I do not get what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
right.
why would you put in that much work and there is just so much hot, fresh, hot pocket jumping out
Just
of microwaves
up.
everywhere?
Exactly, they
Okay.
ready to give it up. So it's like psychologically, first of all, you must be crazy. One,
'Cause-
because
yes,
who goes
because
through
it
all
mind
these
boggles
things?
And can I
No.
say something?
me that they will
I
say,
Okay, go
I
ahead,
like
Mama. Go
that
ahead, Mama.
you're not just free with it. You don't just give it up. You don't just give it away. Huh?
Yeah, like it's like there's
What
a
happened?
part of it is like admiration, like wow, like she really not gonna just let me hit. But then it's like
what
They
after
you guys
you
would.
what you
you like
guys are describing is, sorry guys, what you guys
No,
are
go ahead, babe.
describing was like dating in my neighbor who is an an elderly woman who I love to death, and she's describing what you want as dating. And I blame the rom-coms where you went and you fell in love at 18 and that was it. Where
mm,
where she said, when this is the 60s and 70s, where they dated every week a different person and went on a date, and that was different. And what you guys are talking about is flirting, dating, and playing the field, which was completely normal. And now it's like if you date more than two people, right away you have to jump into a relationship, and I did that wrong too. And I'm saying that coming from a place where I did it wrong,
Hmm.
and I fell in love really hard when I was younger. And if I
mhm.
could take it back, and there's regrets, that's the biggest regret I have, is taking, dating when you're younger. Who the hell do you know when you're 19 who you're going to be with for the rest of your life? That's pretty
Facts.
stupid.
I
Right.
was. Thank
I
you. I was dumb. I admit
I
it. I'm
I was
sorry,
dumb
girl. I didn't know no
too.
damn better, girl. I didn't know. I didn't
Oh
know no
yeah,
better,
I
girl.
even
And
came
I
to
was
Listen.
say
Right.
Listen, I grew up on the rom coms and the chick flicks and the things
Right.
of the things.
and they're
I
all
grew up on Torch
wrong.
right,
Song Trilogy. So I grew up being that chick that was like, I'm gonna find this man and I'm gonna ride with and I'm gonna stick beside him. Clock,
Right.
Guess
clock your
what,
Mm.
references,
Jordan?
children.
Right now,
okay.
Right.
after 10 years, we're going to right your wrong right here, right now.
I listen. Hi, my name is Jordan, and I admit that I didn't know a damn thing about dating.
Period. Same here. I
Cause
ain't.
girl,
Right.
like,
I'm
and
still
see, here's the see, like my thing is like that's where I am is the playing the field, having the fun, going out with this guy, going out with that guy,
Right.
dating, having fun, and doing all of
Yep.
that stuff because I've never done that. I've always been in relationship to relationship to
Oh.
relationship, right? Like before I was married for. I, I basically say married for 10 years, legally for 5.
Right.
But before that, I had only been in 3 relationships prior to that, and that was my history of dating. Like all of my dating history was was at least a year to 3 to 2-year relationships. So
Right.
it was
Okay,
like,
here's your zinger, Jordan. Now, whoever you date is going to be dating yourself because it's just
mhm,
dating.
yeah,
Because before, all the time, you were dating long term to long term, meaning you were dating another personality and you got lost in them. You were
mhm.
dating yourself. So now, short dates, short flings, not short flings or short, it doesn't mean you have to be a jerk about it, but mix it up. You've never
Yeah.
mixed it up. So is it scary to you to mix it up?
No, I'm jumping in head
Okay,
first.
good.
I want my well, I'm not gonna say that I want my salad tossed, but I was gonna try to give a Wendy vibe.
Uh,
But I want
no.
like I want
yeah.
all the ingredients on the pizza. Like I like a supreme pizza, so like give me the black
Okay.
Yeah.
olives, give me the bell peppers, give me
Oh,
the
Yep.
onions, give me the
exactly.
chicken, give me all
Exactly.
the Italian sausage, give me all the
Oh,
Italian
I'm
sausage.
jealous.
But
I love the
like
manicure.
I want to like experience all different types types of things, different types of people,
Yes.
different types of men, and that's not even like me trying to go out and have a hoe phase. Even though like people
Bullshit.
always say like I never had a hoe phase, I don't think I'm gonna have a hoe phase. Well, yeah, I probably am gonna have a hoe
Uh,
phase. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
but
So
Oh,
what
I
do you
want
think?
But
Detroit, Toronto, what are there? New Orleans, we've talked about
what's
before.
going on where you at, Kiki? Honey,
Yeah,
yeah.
where are
Me so,
you?
find me an Asian man down there. What's popping?
Where are you,
Like,
I'll
Kiki?
be
what's
honest.
good?
When I was in New Orleans, I attracted a lot of like Arabic men, and that's what was so weird.
Oh,
They would take me out on dates and stuff, and I'm like,
Oh yeah. Oh, Arabic men love black women.
I didn't
I'm
know
in
that.
Detroit.
oh,
I'm in Detroit,
I
boo boo. They do.
that was some bundles.
Yes,
He
they
he
do.
really did. That was
Chaldean men who are they're Catholic, but the Arabic. Oh, they
yeah.
love them some black women.
I didn't even know
Mm,
that until I went to New Orleans. Like, yeah, I lived in New Orleans for 5 years. I wish I could go back, but
I'm so jealous.
it was time for me to leave. You know, the spirit said no. Like, girl, it's time to move on to
Okay.
things. So I had to leave. But
There is a leak in this old building.
yeah,
Mm.
I had to leave, but I absolutely love New Orleans. It's so diverse, so many beautiful people. Asian men down there love black women too. I think I ain't never seen that many Asians in my life because I mean I'm from Shreveport, so we have Asian people, but they tend to stick to each other. You know, just like the black people here. Everybody kind of there's not a
Just
lot of
hangs with
mingling.
each other. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of mingling. But in New Orleans, because it's so diverse and so many different cultures, and it's always something to do, you constantly running into people and meeting new people and doing new things. But yeah, like I had this one dude, his family owned a gas station, the gas station right up the street from my house.
Love it.
And I know, right? And he took me out on dates and stuff, but I ended up going with the black dude who was my first, like, I guess I want to say real relationship, but it was so toxic and it was so bad that I don't know. Like I feel like that was a really tough relationship for me. That was hard.
L-
Like
let me ask
No,
you a
I don't do
question.
toxic. I don't do toxic. I have to
me
cut you.
either, but that's
I'm
what I'm
sorry.
saying.
Mm,
That
mm.
it was the manipulation and the love bombing and like everything's good, everything's perfect, like everything is going so well, and then all of a sudden like we hit that 2 month mark and oh my god, like he really
Oh
showed me.
no, no, see, he gave you the signs. When someone is overly affectionate at an early time, that's a sign. Leave them alone.
Yeah, but I know that now. But I'm saying like that was when
Thank you.
I was
That means
21.
I need to block somebody as soon as I get
Yeah,
off of this
Oh,
live.
look,
Thank
but
yeah.
you.
look, that just that you reminded me. But yeah, like and also another thing for me, I've never wanted to be in relationships with any of these people who are in my I was in relationships with. That's what's weird. It's like now I look back at it, I was always like coerced a little bit into getting into a relationship. I'm very much
Mm.
I would rather be alone than to be unhappy type of person. I don't need people. I grew up an only child. I was the only child in my house for 12 some years. So it's easy for me to just drop people. Like and it's a bad thing and a good thing
No,
because
that's a good thing because you're guarding your
I'm the
peace.
exact.
I
I'm the
am
exact same
exactly my
way.
peace is over everything. So it's very quick. I'm real quick to just like, all right, bet, like I don't want it no more. I'm not happy. I don't
Yes. Oh my god.
but that's also not necessarily good because that makes me drop people very easily, even friendships. And I had to teach myself now. Don't get me wrong, I give my friendships way more leeway than I give my relationships. And
Right.
a man don't really get too much time out of me to piss me off, and then I'm done. But my friends, I do give way more leeway. So I'm not one of those girls who like throw their friends away over a dude, but I will say that in my relationships in general, whether they're platonic or romantic, I tend to be the person that is like courted in a way. You know what I mean? Like I'm not necessarily the person that goes out and tries to meet people or to be in relationships.
And
I just
that's what I'm looking for is to be courted right now. That is exactly what I'm looking
yeah,
for. And not
and
even in
go
a
for it.
serious way, but like we can date other people while still going out on dates together. Like
yes,
I just like
but
I am so over the Netflix and chill shit. Like I can't deal.
oh yeah, that shit been dead. I'm sorry. Like
Mm.
and also
It's not chivalrous. It doesn't.
exactly
Yes.
no
Like
chivalry.
why is the first time me hanging out with you, me pulling up to your house where you live, where I
Yes,
am on your
why I
turf,
gotta get
I
so
am not
I hope.
safe. Like girl, no ma'am.
No, no, no,
I
no.
hope that era is
Yes.
gone. Like that Netflix and chill. I hope that era is gone because
It's gone for me. I know that.
Send
For
that
me,
shit
you
back
want
to
to
Thotland,
feel
child, with
Right.
damn
whoever
Portia
you
Hello.
and them.
era.
whoever you are,
Right.
I want to feel like I feel like a woman, and I want you to make me feel like a woman, or I feel like a man. I want you to make me feel like a man, and or I want you to feel like polyamorous, or I'm not familiar with it. I'm not trying to be. uh, um, uh, uh, you know what I'm saying. It's
Politically
just
incorrect.
thank you. That's exactly it. You just want to
I can say
feel
it. Stop making me. Don't make me feel like a hoe. Don't make me feel like a hoe. Okay.
exactly
For real, I am not a
perfect.
cheap date.
Perfect, Bernice. Like exact. You want to feel sexy, and to feel sexy is not to feel like a hoe.
That's how you get on Dateline.
Mm.
Thank you, Jamila.
Because when you feel like a hoe, you don't feel sexy. When you feel sexy is because
Yeah.
someone looked at you deep in the eyes and says, "This next evening, it's worth it," and that's all. And you can go from that. And yes, it can be whatever. But even with flirting with what you are at now, Jordan, you just want to feel flirty and fun and sexy. I mean, that's what this is all about, is feeling sexy
Mhm.
and feeling sexy but not feeling jilted at the same time as well.
But see, the down part about that for me is like
Okay.
it's cool. Like I get the attention, like I get dudes trying to holler and do all of that, but like I'm treated predominantly like a sex object, right?
Well,
Yeah.
And
because you're
that
really
is
pretty.
thanks. I appreciate that. Well, if you think I'm pretty, then try to impress me. Like try to
Right.
take me try to take me out, try to get to know me, try to figure out who I
Mhm.
am as a
But I have to
person.
say,
Like like
North
but see the thing,
don't
huh?
understand that. You need to have you dated outside North America before?
Say that one more time.
Have you dated outside North America before?
No, but I want to.
Then
Mhm.
if you're really going to go at 30, go all the way and date not just because I'm Miss Canada, but date
This is gonna
outside.
be a vlog. Me and Kiki
No,
are gonna go on a love tour
I was
no,
just
together,
like,
and
we're gonna go
we
on
go.
a
out.
world tour. Fuck
Yes,
it.
outside.
World tour all year.
That's
All
that's that, that's your
year.
homework. That's your homework,
No, for
Jordan.
real.
You got to look into those cruises
Yes.
I'm going on a cruise in
and
June next year.
hello, hello. Look in those cruises.
Y'all got
See
room
which
for
ones that you can take around your daughter's schedule,
hmm
Yeah.
and you can do a journal or a vlog of your cruises.
I
I
think
really want to do that.
honestly, I think
Like,
the two of you should go to France.
I
Hmm.
listen. I
On
may never come the
honestly,
hell back because I will go over there and get into my Josephine Baker bag,
yes,
Mm.
the
honey.
jazz club.
That's
And
you.
me and my bananas will never come back. I'm telling you, I will renounce citizenship. I'm telling you,
That
don't play with me.
and that's what I was thinking of. Like, I really think the two of you with this, you know, the allure of France and the way it comes. I
I
think the two of you would have the best romantic connection
I
going
want that
there.
Josephine Baker fantasy, honey. I do. I do. I
Yes,
want it, honey. I will buy a banana skirt.
and
I will
start
make a banana
Fred
skirt just for
get
this.
on the chats.
Yeah, cause I just don't understand. Like, it's the stigma of America. It's the stigma of trans women in America. It's the stigma
Yeah.
of black women
No,
in
no,
America, and
I'm
it's
so
all like,
no.
all like,
Hold on,
huh?
hold. That's for you being in America and looking for Americans in that trance.
Mhm.
You said you have never ventured outside America to find somebody. So why
That's
don't
why I want to.
oh okay, sorry. My apologies.
That, that's exactly why I want to, because I need just I need difference. Like
You
I need
opposite of
Need
your life.
variety for sure. I need a
I need
little
the complete
variety.
opposite of everything that is happening in my life right now because I don't
Friend.
understand why it's fun to get the attention. I feel sexy, I feel cute, I feel good about myself. However, I feel like I am a blow up doll, sis. Like
Yeah.
I feel like that's all they want. And
Mm.
it's not even like
Both of you, both the two
it's
of you
still
are
very fetishistic.
gorgeous. Bernice, we're gorgeous too.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I've
Oh,
seen
I
the
know.
both of
I
you.
I I know I am.
I know
Period.
I am.
That's
And
right.
Mhm.
Tell them
and
how
the
it
reason I'm
is, honey.
thinking of Bernice because I don't think we're looking for well, okay, fair enough. I'm gonna say for me, I'm not looking for. I've had many relationships outside North America, outside. in many different
That's a
countries.
great question.
And now I want something closer because I'm getting older and I want something closer. That's the only reason I said Bernice. Maybe you're in the same thing, but if you're not, go for it. But I think
Mm.
the two of you guys are being adventuresome. So don't
Mhm.
stay in North America. Go across a pond. Like I said, you're Atlanta. Go to France. You can find deals on a plane and have a fling for a little bit. Have you been over to Europe lately?
Listen,
Right.
me and Kiki are about to redo Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and just make it Gentlemen Prefer
Okay.
Black.
Please.
Oh,
Listen, I call Jane
you
Russell, but
so
you can have Marilyn Monroe. It's all good.
Oh,
You
okay.
probably got way more ass than I do, so you can handle it. But
A
you
little
two.
too soon.
we can do gentle. That's gonna be the name of the vlog series.
Oh,
We'll
for
do it next
real.
year
Yeah,
sometime. We're just gonna run off to France and do a Gentlemen Prefer Black blonde vlog series.
go
But I
ahead.
do want to answer this question really quick. Ooh,
Ooh, no, call it
sorry.
Mahogany 2021.
Yes, new
Mahogany.
mahogany.
Yeah.
New yes, I love
Perfect.
that.
I love that.
Um, round one said, "Do you think we work too hard to be sexy with the skimpy clothes, for example, rather than just having fun?" Well, I don't know that I don't work that hard at being sexy.
I was
I
gonna
know I don't. I'm
say,
very low maintenance. I don't wear makeup. I'm
same.
just doing
You
it
know,
today just to brush up on my skills and feel cute.
this is for all the youngsters out there.
Mhm.
Stop showing so much.
I
It's
was.
a
Baby,
it's an illusion for the man.
Mm,
I
You can
live my life covered up.
it's the
yeah.
Y'all
illusion.
always see
Because
me as
he's
pictures.
imagining what you're going to look like. If he's showing it all to him on the
There's
first damn
nothing to the
date, there's
imagination.
nothing to the imagination.
Yeah.
You know, you can be sexy and you can be dressed nice,
To me, there's nothing sexier than a woman in a turtleneck.
right? And your confidence is going to come through,
Not the
Now,
turtle.
mind you, with that being said, because with me, I'll just like for me, it's a whole vibe.
right?
But with that being said, there is another side of that where, as much as I do like to look like Bernadine, I do kind of want to look like Robin, waiting to exhale Robin, not
Yes,
RHOP Robin.
Yes.
yes,
Every now and again, too, like it's that balance of like I'm
I was
covered up
gonna
with the
say,
Bernadine and
I
the
like
power
to do it.
suits, and then
Yeah.
but then I'll do like the suit jacket with the crop top. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh
right,
my God, I miss
right.
the
It's a good
90s.
balance
Ah!
because I'm not necessarily. People say I'm a girly girl, but I don't necessarily dress like a super feminine.
I
Whenever
don't
I go
either.
out, yes, I wear a dress, but I'm the most you're gonna see on me is like maybe my shoulders and the top of my knees. But I tend to cover up. That is my personal preference, especially because as someone who has not the best view of her body, I don't necessarily tend to like show too much.
Mhm.
But then again, I don't know. I don't necessarily feel like I dress like I don't see myself as sexy anyway though. I see myself as pretty, I see myself as beautiful, but I don't see myself as sexy. So I don't dress sexy, if that makes
Uh,
sense. When
baby girl,
Become
we are all sexy.
I know
Okay,
Accessories.
I am. It's just that I don't see myself. Like people tell me, like, oh,
Such
like
a
you fine as
process.
hell, like you look
face.
good, like you really sexy. But I don't necessarily see myself as sexy.
And
I
guess what?
relate to you
You
so
will,
much, girl.
as a young woman, I'm telling you, once you hit older in your 30s and 40s, you feel sexier and sexier. See, men
Yeah.
feel
She's
sexy
right.
more when they're in their late teens. And it's weird because that's why you have younger women with older men type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have older
Hi.
women with
Okay.
younger men,
Same.
because I'm
right,
you, there's something to it in your chemistry. Like,
right. Now
and
we talk about a positive older man. We're not talking about
yes.
creepy like Scott Disick. Okay,
Yes.
Oh, no, no, no.
God
Yes,
bless
no,
him.
that is.
no,
He a old
No,
no,
we're
freak.
talking
no,
more like
no.
Ernie Hudson.
Yes,
Get into it, because that man right there,
yes,
woo, that is a
Who's
good
that?
man,
And that's
Savannah.
yes.
interesting because I tend to attract older men.
Huh?
I don't attract people my age. I think I've only attracted one person. Well, no, I'm sorry, two people who are in my age group. Like everybody is at least like 5 years or older than that I
That's
attract.
good.
I need to get in your
That's
group
good.
then.
That's good for
'Cause
you because you are smarter than the average 25-year-old that you around.
mhm.
Everybody tells me that, but I appreciate that because people tell me like I'm a little more mature, like how I look at things is more well rounded, and I'm a little more
Right.
like,
That's why you're
grounded in my thinking. But I also think it works to my detriment because I don't necessarily I'm not able to have like a lot of friends for real, like my age that do
but
the
you know
Because
stuff
they
what?
don't think the
well,
way
But
that you do.
and
and I'm around. Yeah.
you might feel lonely now, and that's unfortunate because right now in your lifetime, you being social is very important.
Right.
Very.
But once
And
you hit 30, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna predict it. You're
and you
gonna
know
hit
what?
your
I'll
prime.
tell you this to confirm.
You're
Oh,
gonna hit it.
sorry about that. And I'll say this to confirm what Andrea said to you, Kiki. The older you get, the sexier you're gonna
Yeah.
feel. Because I don't like until I turned 30.
Mm,
Like
Mm.
I have never felt more sexy now than I have in my entire life.
that
And
is
And it's
wait till you
because
hit
I
40.
feel so fully realized. I
yes,
Right.
can't wait.
that's a
I
part
cannot
of it
wait to
though.
turn 40. Do you hear
That's
me?
what
Oh,
I'm
I
saying.
actually started
As you
lying and just telling people that I was 45.
Yes.
Dead ass.
As a woman, you start to come into who you are in your own femininity the older you get.
yes.
You start
Yes.
to be more
True.
comfortable in it. So I am
Right.
growing to see myself as
Yes.
sexy, but people still tell me I look like a high school student. That don't make me feel sexy. Like, what is that? It's like,
I'm just now getting out of that. People have just
like
stopped telling me that I look 16. Now
yes, and you're like,
now
oh
I get, oh, you look 21, 22. Thing.
yes,
Girl,
like
girl, just take it and go with it. Because last time I got carded, I bought me some liquor, and he said, I need to see your ID." And I gave him my ID. He looked at my ID. They looked at me. They looked back at my ID and looked at me like, "I'm sorry, ma'am." I was like, "No, baby, you're doing your job." But I'm
right.
way over 21. Thank you.
Yeah. And another thing too, like these kids are starting to look a little bit older nowadays. So
That's
when they
because
and I
that's
look
because
young, they're like, oh, you
they're
like high school.
they're going through more stuff than you went through when you was their age.
Hmm.
They're
Can I?
experiencing
and
more.
Can I?
and the
They're
age
seeing
and it
more.
ages you because they're trying to party hard and all this great stuff,
Exactly.
and it
Exactly.
ages you.
Yeah.
It
Kiki,
ages
100%.
you.
Yeah.
Can I say something to the best
Yes.
is yet to come? You're an old
Right.
soul.
And I know that. That's why I'm
You're an
so
old soul. You
excited.
gotta bide your time. So bide your time
Hmm.
with some flings. Have some fun. Go
I'm not
and
a clean
do.
girl though. I tried it. It's just not for me. Like
I
I don't
understand,
What?
and
know.
I'm like that
I'd
too. So
rather just be
then,
by myself.
be by
Then
yourself.
have a fling.
Yeah,
Then
like I try, but I'm not. And again, we talked about this last night. I'm not in a space where I'm emotionally available yet.
Yeah.
okay,
So, in having a fling, I don't want to be that person that plays with people's
got it.
emotions because
And
I
Because
have
you don't want your emotions played with.
exactly.
Understand?
I've
That's
had, I've
fair.
experienced it. So I
and
don't want to be that person who does that to somebody or their expectations are different than mine. And I'm a very blunt person as well when it comes to sex and interacting with people. I'm always the type of person like if someone gets my number or something like that, like like we hang out a couple of times and then maybe after like the third time, I'm like, okay, like so what did you really want from this? You know what I
then
mean? Like what are your expectations? Because if you just want to have sex, I'm letting you know right now, like I'm not that girl. But if
Right.
want to
he
you want this to grow into something that we can foster and nurture, then yeah, like I'm with it. But at the same time, I'm not gonna be running up behind you either. Like I have my own life. I'm a student. Like I have so many things I'm working on and doing
and
constantly.
can I
I don't have
apologize? I
time.
was wrong. I was giving you the
About
same
what?
advice. Well, I was trying to give you the same advice as I was trying to give Jordan, and I recognize that, and I apologize.
Oh, they're
And
at two different stages. What's
yes,
going
and
for
I
Jordan is not
apologize.
for her.
No, you're
You're
fine. I mean,
right.
Hmm.
but
No, I'm
there are
fine,
little
but
nuggets in there that I do find valuable though. So don't
Hmm.
apologize.
well, no, I have to apologize because it's the right. It's okay to apologize, and I've been there too when I was in my 20s, where I, looking back, I would have liked to be more promiscuous, but looking
Yeah.
at where you are right now, I understand it's not the same. So
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
be, do what makes you feel good for yourself, and when those social pressures are on, just keep where you're at. Keep that, you've got that little shell around you. Keep it.
Mhm.
And once you feel more, um, you know what it is? Every year, they say when you get older, women feel, I'm not saying all of them, but I'm just saying women feel a little bit, uh, lessened. I think every year that I feel I have more money in my bank account, I learn more lessons. And
Yeah.
I think you're on that road path. And I think you're going to
Yeah.
get stronger and stronger. And I look at the background of all the things that are on your back wall, and I think you're a really strong woman for who you are at your age. I'm not
Thank you.
dissecting who you are, but I'm just saying like you're a strong and powerful young woman, and with society the way it is, don't listen to them. Listen to who you are. You're
Right.
beautiful, Kiki. You really are.
Thank you. I
Right.
appreciate that. And
Because
Yeah.
because
yeah.
you're 25.
Mhm.
30 is around the corner.
Yeah.
When
Trust
you
me.
are when you are ready to walk through that door
Oh
and you
boy.
are a complete person, you're going to attract that person that's going to be meant to walk through that door with you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's going to be blindsided, and he's going to
Right.
fall completely in love. And you're going to snap your fingers. No, I'm just kidding. But you're going to, you want to be equally in love with him too. And
Yeah.
it sounds like, oh, how should I say this without being offensive? The nerds, like the doctors, the professionals who are their noses in their book right now, and they're not looking at women. But
You're
once
waiting on them to glow up.
Right.
yes,
Hello.
thank
You're
you.
waiting on them nerd ass boys in
You're not.
high school to like
They're
graduate and get fine. So when
they're
you hit
waiting for
30,
us.
then they're gonna be out. They,
They want you, the women. Sorry, but these guys who have their nose in the books are hoping someone like Kiki waits, because
Right.
they need to do their work first. And
they're
once they
hoping that you're
come,
single at 30. So when they get cute and they
exactly,
get job and they out of their residency and they get their white coat.
then
Hallelujah.
turn it
Gonna
on.
be ready. It's
Or
on.
or
Ready.
better or better yet, the
Yes,
neighborhood mechanic who got his own shop, or the
Who
yes,
has his
plumber,
own
or the
shop?
electrician.
Who gets the
yes.
op
Okay.
baby?
Thank you.
Kenny
Oh yeah.
Chadway, call me.
Mm.
Clock your
Who
references, children.
Oh my
who
goodness.
Okay.
Ooh.
You're gonna have the blue collar men coming after you, and you're gonna have the
Rockman
intellectual coming
Dunbar.
after you.
yes,
Come on now.
Mm.
all of them.
I'm waiting on my Rockman Dunbar, guys. No
Mm.
shade. Like I want a Rockman. Like if he's gonna be black, he needs to be Rockman Dunbar, Ernie Hudson. He needs
Ooh.
to really give it up.
Oh,
Like he really
er,
needs to be the like. I need a whole full blown yam man. Watch
Mhm.
Grace and Frankie and come back to me.
Thank you.
But
oh, I love
yes,
Gam.
that ass. That's Ernie Hudson. Like that's my ooh. Oh,
Yes,
Oh,
you
and
Lord
want
have
Ernie,
mercy. Like y'all talking
Ernie's
about
a
Idris
er,
Elba. I'm like, girl, Ernie Hudson though.
Ernie's a Midwest boy, so you got all the qualities that he like. Okay, you can cook. You're a good conversationalist. Hello, he from Michigan. I know. Hello.
Let's go. See, listen, listen. Miss Bernice cousins and them. Miss Bernice cousins and them. What's up? Like,
Well, who wants to date somebody that's a showboat? You want to date somebody that you can have a conversation for hours on.
Yeah.
and
Right.
I'm covered up
Who
too, child. I don't be showing no skin except in my little thirst
no,
traps on Twitter where, where, where my abs is popping. But that's a different story. That's just once
Hmm.
or twice a month. It's
If
cute
I
though.
had abs, I'd be showing them off too. Sure.
Hello,
Child,
you ain't
I
the only
worked hard
one.
for this. I worked hard for this body, child. I'm
Exactly.
happy to feel comfortable in it. Like, here's the thing. I've been working so hard for a body that I never felt comfortable in for so long. And
wow.
so the past year that I've been like transitioning, I've never felt more comfortable with myself than I have now. And so now I feel more comfortable. I feel more sexy. I feel more
Good.
fine. I feel good. I feel more fully realized. Like, I feel like a
Exactly.
person.
But
Like, I
that's
feel like a person.
that confidence when you come into your body and come into that realization is so sexy. Like I feel
Right.
like I'm getting there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like because I don't know. I'm more of I'm a mind person, so I have to connect with
Yes.
you on a mental and emotional level for me to feel anything physical, anything.
Correct. Yes.
It doesn't do anything
Same.
for me.
That's why I'm having such a hard time, is because men are only approaching me sexually. And
Exactly.
while that's only cute at 3 o'clock in the morning when I can't sleep, that's not cute at 8:30 in the morning when I want to cook breakfast.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the same
Mm,
vibe.
Or like when I want to have a
no.
conversation, you can't even give me that. You know.
We can't talk about documentaries. We can't talk about nothing going on. Like, we can't have the
Joanna,
Joanna, hey
that's my
mommy.
sister. That's my sis.
Hold
I
on.
love
I'm
Hmm.
her.
dropping a link for her too. Cause
Yeah,
baby,
Please.
come on, Joanna.
I'm I'm happy that you two called in, Andrea and Miss Bernice, because I know that Miss Bernice be busy, honey. She be in these streets getting these children together, holding all the YouTubers in line. I see you out here, Miss Bernice. I know you be keeping us in line out
I
here.
love it.
So you are a very busy woman, and I
Mm,
Come on,
appreciate you making a
Joe.
little time for me, Miss Andrea, honey. That conversation we had was amazing, so I'm always happy to see you, girl.
right.
Oh,
Cause
well,
But like,
cause you was on Kim Pie the other night. I saw you.
I didn't. What happened?
listen, I had got on there and we got to talking about this reunion, and I had had a
Oh,
little drink or two because I was watching it with Kempire on his TikTok, and I kind of went
oh,
on there and I kind of went in a little bit, just a skosh.
Mm.
Not really. Don't tell on me, Miss Bernice.
I'm not saying a
Listen,
word.
don't
I
tell
don't
on
cross
me.
conversations. I don't cross
You
conversations.
have to go
They
watch it
can go
then.
back and watch it. Y'all just go and like, share, and
Joanna said
subscribe
she
to
called in
Kempire.
too.
Huh?
I
Joanna
love
said she
him.
called in too, or she had some
Yeah,
conversation.
she was like right before
Yeah.
me.
I
Yep.
need I need to go back and
Cause
watch it.
I was after y'all.
Yes.
I'm
I was
Yep.
dead.
like,
I
yes.
love that.
Mhm.
That's why but like that's what I love, is that like we can like jump from like this channel to that channel,
Oh,
like
yeah.
continue the conversation and carry on the conversation, expand on different conversations. Like
Mm.
Right.
I just I appreciate that. Hey Tawana, thank you so much,
I
baby.
love Campfire.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
sorry that I missed that, but sounds like a good
Yeah.
one. Which
Oh
It
one
yeah.
was
was
Go look at the
fun.
replay. Yeah, it was
Always
fun.
It was
it?
the
fun live.
one that was talking about the part 3 of the Real Housewives of
Okay.
Potomac reunion.
Ah,
Did
okay.
did you
Which
listen to that stand for Robin? Woo.
Listen.
Robin has
Um,
wings.
Yeah,
Robin
girl.
has look. Somebody is
Girl.
buying those embellished tags that she didn't call TJ Maxx. So somebody is
Mm.
buying.
Um,
I wanted embellished tag too, because now that my hair is straight, now she needs to take care of her.
Mhm.
So I wanted to keep looking like I grew it. Okay,
I'm dead.
so
what do
you
you think
know.
what do you think Nicki Minaj is gonna bring to the next one?
She brought
Oh my
everything in those
god.
3 minutes. So I know this next
I
hour
do.
Oh,
is
she
going to
gonna
do
bring
the.
hot mess, hot mess,
See,
hot mess.
this is
It
why they would never ask me
up.
to host the reunion. Joanna, hi, mommy.
Yeah.
Hey. Hey.
Now we got like the whole fam here, except like, where's Nakaya?
Right. We need them
Like,
to be here.
I love that I've built my own little like girls troop here. Like, it's me, it's Kiki, it's Joanna, it's Miss Bernice, it's Andrea, it's Kristen, it's Nakaya. Like, I feel like Ariana Grande. Like, I got like 7 best friends. Yay.
Period.
We love
Love
you.
it. I
Here
love
you
y'all.
Yes.
What's going on, Joe?
Hey, I was stuck in the meeting. We got a little scandal going on in the city, so they had to worry the shit out of me today. But
Oh.
yeah, it's some deep shit. But it annoyed me because everybody was acting like they don't believe. So it's something involving one of the police officers that work for the city and sexual assault.
Ooh.
Mm.
Um,
And everybody's acting shocked and appalled. I'm like, but what? He's been a police officer since I was in the 4th grade, and he's been like this since I was in the 4th grade. So
wow.
why y'all acting shocked? Fire his
Right.
ass and keep it moving.
Exactly. We just had a case like that here in Detroit where the police officer raped his ex girlfriend who's also a police officer.
Mm.
Oh wow.
Jesus.
Law enforcement
Mm.
is the most aggressive place to
I was
be.
gonna say that they have so much violence within those
Yeah.
sectors. It's crazy.
Domestic violence, sexual
Mm.
violence. It's like,
Yeah.
bruh,
I don't
So
think
many.
y'all the one who need the
officers
drug
for
test,
I
first of all.
Mm.
We need protection from y'all sometimes because y'all the ones out here wilding.
I don't think
Okay,
some
who is y'all protecting and serving?
Mm.
Exactly.
I don't
Themselves.
I don't think somebody
Right.
should be in the police force or law enforcement for their whole life because it's just too much
Me neither.
negativity.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
you're gonna get burnt out.
Yeah,
Yes, like you should have a
I
10-year
agree.
limit or something like that.
Yeah,
And I think
mhm,
from here, like I look at people who are in border services because that's law enforcement too, and I
Hmm.
worked with them, and I noticed a couple of them after a while they become judge, jury, whatever, and I think it's just too much power in your head, and who has the most divorce rates? Police officers,
Hmm.
you know, enforcement, whatever, because you're always
Military.
saying no, and you're always the one who's supposed to lay down the law. I think you should be 10 years, 15 years, and that's it. You're out.
mhm.
Done.
I feel you
Anyways,
on
that's
that.
Mm.
just
Yeah.
that's just my
Let's
Okay.
redirect, cause I that ooh,
Yeah.
Lord, I don't even
Like
wanna.
what's
story about
I
that.
saw the topic, like what we
We were
talking
talking
about?
about this the other day, me and you, Joanna. We was talking about this privately round in the DMs and the directs and the stuff and the things, girl. We was talking about this, and I'm
Yeah,
glad you're here,
that.
honey. Because yeah, that, yeah,
We're, we're trying
huh.
to get Jordan a date.
You did. Sorry, what?
We're trying to get
Yeah.
Jordan a
Okay,
date.
Mia.
Okay, Mia. Okay,
That's what
gentlemen's
he's trying
club,
to
not
say.
strip club, because
Jordan
we don't
a
serve
date
chicken
and
fingers.
And
tomorrow.
we got a spot in the back where you shine your shit.
Right.
And a shoe shine guy and a cigar bar. Like, bitch,
You
you
ain't hear
you you say you was a stripper and keep it moving. So you was a stripper, you
right.
got your bag and you got your dude and keep it
Explanation.
moving.
Oh my god.
I love Mia. She just yeah.
She's just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
she is
Exactly.
Potomac's, she is Potomac's Mary Cosby. She is Potomac's Ramona. Hopefully, without all of the problematic BS that
Yes.
comes along with both of them. I want to see me around a 7-Eleven and see how she acts. Um,
You know
but
what, Jordan? When you said men prefer blind, uh, she's the Marilyn Monroe character from that movie.
yeah, she's
Okay.
very like James Mansfield realness.
Yes. Yes.
Like she gives me
Hmm.
that vibe, and I love that for her. Like if she just leans into this Mae
I
West
was
type
gonna
of
say, if
aesthetic
she
and
just
stop worrying about coming for
accepted it,
everybody.
Right.
if she
Oh,
accepted it, she would be that girl. Like real
she would
talk.
be like an Erica Jane without like the
The
skit.
stealing
Well,
from
child,
widows and
I don't even want to
orphans.
bring.
Exactly.
I don't even want
Exactly.
to.
Don't
Without the
even.
widows and orphans,
You were,
I don't
yeah.
even want to
Without the
talk
windows
about her.
alone.
But anyway, Joanna, we was talking about this the other day because you were the one who I was talking to that made me want to do this live in the first place. Because I was to bring everybody
Yeah.
up to speed. I was talking to Joanna. Me and her was texting the other day, right? And so I was talking to her about like, girl, listen, I'm tired of black men. Like, girl, I want me an Asian man. Like, I need to find me something else going on. But like, while I'm not opposed to while I'm not opposed to dating a white man, I just have like there's a level of internal guilt for me that comes with that. Like there's a level of
Yeah.
pro-black guilt, being that one, I was raised by Black Panthers, two, I've experienced racism, three, I'm an advocate, and four, I'm like pro-blacker than Issa Rae at the BET Awards. So like it becomes a little sketchy for me, even though I'm not opposed. It's not off of the table, but it becomes like it leans into Joanna's point, which is why I'm glad she called in because it leans into like having to explain things that we shouldn't have to explain as black women. Like, girl, go ahead, jump in, girl. Tell
Yeah,
your
like
story, sis.
I can't. Not that I can't, but I can't. Like
Mm.
I don't have the emotional room to tell you why all lives matter is problematic as fuck.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Like I can't every time there's it's so many layers to it. I have
It becomes
had
difficult to have to explain
conversations.
to your boyfriend why everything that you see racist, you have to explain to them why it's racist.
right.
Mm.
It's like, and at this point, if you're not civilly aware enough to know why, if Kyle Rittenhouse had been black, he would have never made it to trial in the first place.
He wouldn't have made
I
it
agree.
alive out of
You
office
don't know his name.
with
Exactly.
thank you. He would have been a
There's
hashtag.
like,
Yeah.
especially for that to come during the week of the 7th anniversary, I think, of Tamir Rice's murder. It's like, dog, he was 12 with a toy gun and they shot him down.
Dead.
You just killed two people and maimed another, and they offered you bottled water as you were walking away from the scene after they heard the gunshots with the gun that you shot the people with.
Mm. A gun that wasn't legal.
After you cross state lines to do it.
Yeah.
That's what kills me the most. That was your
After you were out past curfew as a minor.
hmm.
Can I say something just because I'm white here and from
Ha!
No,
Sorry.
no, I'm sorry.
The token white in the room.
Jim
Yeah.
Carrey, welcome to In Living Color. Hey girl.
Right.
Right.
Like, hey girl, what's up?
No, I don't mean it in that way. I mean it
No, I'm joking, baby. Go
Yeah, no,
ahead.
no, I know. It's I was shocked that
Mhm.
of of the outcome. But I'm not shocked only because yes, I'm the token Canadian and I've said it all, but I had a house down in Florida for some time and I lived, you know, quite a well, out of 5 years I lived probably three and a half in America and I had to leave because of the racism. Not towards me, but towards
But just seeing
anybody
it.
that was white. It was too hard. And I'm going to shut it down at that and saying that the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict shocked me. And um, what shocks me is that it doesn't shock you guys.
And it absolutely doesn't. Like,
No.
when
Not
I
at
first
all.
started
Well,
watching a
when
little bit and
yeah,
I
yeah.
saw the way that the judge was acting towards
Yeah.
everything, not
Exactly.
allowing them to
Exactly.
call the victims
And why I wanted to bring
victims.
it up is I want to say that outside of America, we see it too. It's not like as somebody outside America, we see the racism too, and I want to know that you're not alone. We see it, and we see the way that judge acted, and it wasn't appropriate at all.
The
At all.
crazy part about all of it to me is, if us as America saw this happening in another country,
Yeah, yeah,
we would go in and invade the fuck out of them and be like,
yeah.
yeah, y'all have way too many civil rights atrocities over there. What are you doing? We're going to help you get to freedom. Give us free.
Right.
But here is like, oh, well, that's America. And as has been said, this is America. People
But
like to
our
pretend that it's just in certain little sectors or it's just in the South. It's like, nah,
Certain
dog.
bad
No.
apples.
Is it?
Right. It's everywhere. It's different
it
because
is,
in some places, when you're in the South, it's a lot more blatant,
Mm.
but it's everywhere.
and that's why someone like me moved out because I couldn't take it. I had my retirement home there, and I said, I'm not going to retire in a place that this is racist like this.
Oh,
I'm
you was in. You had a retirement home in Florida.
I did, and I left it.
Oh, I would have left it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Same.
happy for you.
Mm.
Oh,
It's the hypocrisy for me. Like, how in the same stand your ground state can a grown man chase a child and kill them
yes.
and then get found not guilty for standing his ground? And in the same state, a black woman fires a warning shot at her abusive ex husband who's in violation of a restraining order by being in her house. and she gets sentenced to 20 years. You can't tell me
Mm.
that ain't right.
It's completely racist.
Mm.
Ebony K. Williams, please enter the chat.
Mm.
Make it make
Exactly.
sense. Since that's who Bravo put on that pedestal to make racism make sense to white America, Ebony K. Williams, enter the chat. Because I
Mm.
don't
Yeah,
understand. Like, I'm a little bit too aggressive for this conversation. And I'm a skosh
go
wound
for
up about it, which is why I haven't talked about Kyle Rittenhouse. But yeah, I'll let y'all go ahead.
Mm.
go
But when
for
the judge threw out everything that could convict him, we already knew that he was gonna get off.
yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You
Like you
didn't
can
you
see
didn't
that the
allow
fix
any
is
other social
in.
media posts. You threw out the gun charge, which I didn't understand. How the heck he gonna throw out the gun charge when it was an illegal gun?
okay.
He
Okay.
interpreted that law in a very in a way that was positive for that little murderer
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he was white, and that's
Right.
it. Like you
Exactly.
They
can't
tried to
say
make him a a a community hero, like he did an act of service, like
Right.
he did a great deed, like he killed a fucking terrorist.
because that's exactly what they see it as. That's
Yeah.
exactly what they see it as. He's a community hero. He's Proud Boys leader junior
Yeah.
because
Exactly.
he took out race sympathizers is what they would have called it back in the original
Yeah.
civil rights era. It doesn't,
Right.
Exactly.
well, they were white. It doesn't matter that they were white.
Right.
No,
They
it
were
doesn't.
there standing up for black people. So, all right, you the enemy of the friend of my enemy is my enemy too.
Exactly.
But circling back to the actual subject, yeah, like I ain't got time. I ain't got time. Like there's
And
a
this is partially
specific
why, I'm sure.
exactly. There's a specific kind of white dude that a dude would have to be.
Chris Bassett.
Exactly. Brown
Chris
Dick
Bassett.
Bassett could get it.
Brown Dick Bassett can get it, baby. Brown Dick
Like
Bassett?
that's it.
Get it, baby. Let me tell
There
you
are
something. That man, and I'm sorry, people got so up in arms about the way he handles Candace.
I don't. He's supposed to handle her like that.
Thank you.
right.
It shows he has experience with black women. That's just
He
what
has
Exactly.
he knows exactly
Yeah.
how black women
he's
are.
doing.
Like he knows exactly what he's doing. So he's like, this is how I'm supposed to handle her. Y'all see, she stops when I get involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Just like when he laid them out at that reunion, Chris was like, "Listen,
Everybody thought he did too much. I was like, listen, the only
No,
time you
he did
did too much is
not.
when you
he did.
No.
hijacked a little segment and you made it about you. You were right, and your point was completely valid and necessary. It was just,
But that wasn't the
the
time for
wrong
that.
time.
Right.
Right." But I
It wasn't the
think
time.
too, he's been around enough to know in the same way that they don't give Candace and Wendy like specific times and avenues to properly air out their grievances, they were never going to be like, so hey Chris, how do you feel about everybody calling you broke as fuck and saying that you riding Candace Cope? They were never going to
That's
do
not
that.
what
So
they're
he knew
there
he was going to be
for.
like, all right, whatever kind of segue I need to, supporting our women, boom, there we go. Here we
I'm getting
go.
in where I fit in
And
because you
he
already know
did.
it's
Exactly.
not like they're gonna ask men the questions about themselves. The men are only there to comment on the women's storyline because they were in the scene at the time. So it's
Exactly.
like it's not like they're gonna ask about, well, Chris, how do you feel about Dorothy doing you the way she does you? How do you feel about this and then the third? Like it's not like they're gonna ask you, how do you feel that the women continuously call you broke? The only reason that those questions came up was because Chris came in there like Chris Samuels did last season and was taking no prisoners.
Exactly.
Exactly. The way he was dressed to fight. Come on
Baby,
now.
them high waters, he came in there ready for the shit. He came in there like,
Right.
listen, I ain't even gonna finish the rest of my damn pants because who knows if they gonna be on by the end of this segment. Don't even worry about it. Just give me a pair of, just give me a pair of Bermuda shorts and a blazer. We in this thing
Right.
Play with
And he
my
had on his Air Force Ones. He was there to stop.
with some Hennessy. What's good?
Mm.
he really
Chris
was.
Brown Dick Bassett can get it. I'm sorry. He is a fool on Twitter. And I have seen his internet
Yeah.
antics are just as bad as his wife.
Yes.
But if
Or
I didn't know nothing about that and just met him down to the club one night at Freaknik in 1997,
What What do you think if they had stayed off Twitter? How better they would be right now?
they would probably have a better perception, but it doesn't mean that they would be better
Yeah.
people. They would still be
No,
assholes, but we just
you're
wouldn't know
right.
about it.
No,
Right,
no,
exactly.
no. Yeah,
Because Candace is
yeah,
let's not
She's
go
problematic as
there.
hell.
She's probably yes. Cause
yeah,
she go for the
yeah.
like somebody can say something to her that she don't like, and then she go for murder when she retaliates and come back at them, and then when they get offended, oh, you came at me first. You didn't have to go
She
like
almost
that,
cracked
chick.
Ashley's biscuit for mentioning her mama's table in her mama's house in her mama's conversation piece. But
Right,
yet, all of a sudden,
After
as
being
soon
told to
as
get out multiple times. Like I said, that's why I will never, they will never cast me for reality TV. Because, baby, like I said, if y'all think Candace goes below the belt,
I ain't gonna
absolutely
get
not.
mm.
cast on nothing but VH1. I'm
I
See,
sorry.
was
They
but
not gonna
always
let me on no.
taught,
They not
don't
gonna let
start
me on nothing but
nothing.
Love and Hip Hop. I
I
right,
was
guarantee you.
always taught, don't start nothing with
nothing gonna
nobody.
be
But if somebody comes for you, you
Yeah.
finish the fuck out their ass and
Yes.
make
right,
sure that they know never to come for you again. If y'all so hurt all the time, Candace goes below the belt.
Mhm.
Candace does things and says
She
things
just does it better than
intentionally
everybody else.
intentionally to hurt
Exactly. Why
people.
you thinking that
Then
girl
leave Candace the fuck alone.
right. But
it's just that simple?
what I don't like about Candace is that now you want to try to her and Wendy doing this gang like they from the hood. Chick, you not from the hood.
You ain't hard. Like you was just
No,
You
but
bragging
not
about being
that's the point
HBCU
though.
grad and all of this stuff. My
right.
issue is that you want to sit here and almost cut Ashley for mentioning your mama's table, but then when it comes to you mentioning me as mama, all of a sudden that's slight work.
Yeah,
Right.
That's no big deal
unless
when
she
you
had
bring
mama.
up her mama. But then all of a sudden, when somebody mentions your mama, all of a sudden it's time for you to butter their biscuit.
Okay,
Right.
and then
I'm
you
confused.
bursting out in tears. My issue with
Uh
Candace,
huh.
the tears. You cannot bucket nobody
You
and
can't be
then
rat
start
tat tat tat
crying.
tat tat
You
Candace
Thank
can't be
you.
like
with a
Candace.
triangle sitting in your titty.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And
That's
you
the
would never see that with me. Like, I'm gonna cuss you out. You come for me, I'm gonna call you a baby ugly. I'm gonna talk about your mama. I'm gonna talk about your
nobody is like
cousins. I'm gonna talk about
exactly.
everything that I can hit you at.
This is
But
always being
I'm
cardboard.
never going to be sad in front of you. When I get home,
Cry
I
about it.
might be real sad because, like, damn, I thought that was my friend and I had to go in on her ass. But in front of you,
Oh no, that's because she be trying to weaponize her tears, and
But
like
that's
Yeah,
the point
it
though.
ain't
That's what
working.
I'm saying.
cardboard
You can't
Candace.
you can't be rah black woman, but also fragile, gentle white woman as well. You can't play both.
right.
You can't be a
Ashley,
villain and a victim at the
Ashley,
same time, baby. That's not how it
Ashley,
works. Eh,
Ashley,
yes,
hot
Ashley
ass
can do
mess,
that,
messy heifer
and that's what's
garbage.
sad.
She
But
cannot sit here and get rah and pull her black card and pull all of her 4C hair out when she want to read a bitch, and then all of a
yeah,
sudden pull her pull her white card when these girls read her ass back, and now they're coming at her aggressively.
yeah.
Ashley, back the hell up with that.
Mm.
I I'm
Yeah,
not gonna tell you this, but one time, Ashley
All
Darby,
of
cut
them do
that
it
shit
though.
out.
Ashley does it. Giselle does it. Robin even does it. Robin don't do it. Robin's not as bad. I can't give Robin too
She
much.
just agrees when Giselle does it.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
but that's the part of the problem. You, I don't. I hate to say this. I don't like none of them women, to be honest. The more I watch the show, I don't fool with none
you
of
don't
them.
like Karen?
Is I don't like any of them. Karen, I don't. I like Karen, but I still side her because she went to HR to get Candace fired, and it's
She
like
was
I don't.
supposed to.
Uh,
When you have
I disagree with
when
that.
you
But what I'm
working and
saying
you
is,
have somebody who
both
keep
sides.
constantly doing that, you're supposed to go to HR and let them know you need to check this person
In
because
Okay,
I don't want
Karen's
nobody going
defense,
postal
nobody ever
on
went
me.
in
ain't nobody
Karen's
ever went to
defense,
HR on Giselle. Ain't nobody
she
ever
went,
went to HR on nobody else. Ain't nobody went
but
to
they
HR
should
on
have.
Ashley. Ashley literally insinuated that Monique basically was responsible for the murder of her unborn child. Let's be honest.
That
Her unborn
and
child
they should
died because
have.
she was
The
drinking.
difference is
And she
they didn't do that to Karen, and Karen was the one that will do that. Everybody else is out here playing the game. That's
Right.
why Karen is
Yeah,
probably the most relatable person on this show, is because she cares
it is.
enough. She didn't try to call and get the girl fired. She just tried to call and get a therapy.
Right.
Now,
But
does
she
Candace
just
need it?
called HR.
Absolutely.
That's my thing. That's why I be talking about these. Y'all be, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I don't move like that. That's not my type of stuff. But at
I
the
feel
same
you on
time,
that.
I'm not on national television. You know what I mean? I'm not. I don't know. Maybe the situation will be different depending on like me having a national platform. But that's not how I move. Like I don't move how none of these chicks move. But
Right.
I have a very
I
Tammy Roman spirit about me when it comes to reality
exactly.
TV.
Right.
And that's how I feel about the whole Candace situation too. I'm gonna be honest with you. You throw a brick at me, bitch, you getting a whole house. Okay.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You are all of a
You
sudden the
throwing
witch,
drinks, no
honey.
baby. You getting the drink with the glass behind it with me. That's just how I am. But I again with Candace with these tears, I can't take it. I don't like that. And honestly, Candace does have a great argument, but it gets negated and it
Your
loses its
delivery
validity.
diminishes your message.
Thank
Clock
you.
your
It
Exactly.
loses
references,
its validity when you
children.
do stuff like that.
What
It's just
happens with Candace is the problem with Candace is that she throws such harsh daggers, and then in a split second she wants to be crying. So
Hmm.
you
that's my
can't have
point.
it both
Yeah.
ways. Like you either
I
got to
Yeah.
think
be the
that's the
hard
difference
ass.
between Candace and Giselle, is that
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giselle and Ashley ass stand in being messy. They stand in
Right.
being
Yeah.
shady. They are 10
You
toes
cry about
down
it.
on their bullshit.
Yep.
Candace will sit here and bury you 6 feet and then cry that you gave her the shovel.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Because
Yes.
when you come back and check her, all of a sudden you wrong, and here come the Kleenex
She burst
origami.
in tears.
And that's
Girl,
what's
Mm-hmm.
hurting to
if you want to be that
Candace's
girl, you gotta be
appetite.
that girl.
That's
Right.
really
Like
100%, which
I
is why
can't.
I didn't
child.
understand why she was like, well, this is the platform that we're on and this is what we do. So
Right.
why are you all of a sudden surprised that everybody is ganging up on you?
Right. And why you
Exactly.
Welcome to the
always so
platform. This is what we
sad?
do.
Like there are a lot of I relate to
Let me
Candace in
write a
a lot
sticky
of
note
different
about that.
ways, but
Ooh, them
Candace
sticky notes.
also irks me in a lot of different ways too because she reminds me of
She
people
reminds
on my mama's
me
side of the family. Like both sides of my family have a few screws loose, and like my mama's side will like beat you within an inch of your life, find out you went to the hospital, and then feel bad about it and send you flowers. Like my daddy's side of the family will beat you within an inch of your life and find out you went to the hospital and then come unplug your life support to charge their phone. Like they don't give a fuck.
Damn.
It's like, nah, if I want you gone, so you gone. Like I ain't got no
So your
remorse
daddy's side of the
because
family from Florida, apparently.
they
Ooh.
from everywhere. And they like
Oh.
That sounds like some real Miami shit right there.
He
it's
really does.
very I don't bother nobody. I don't even like people. Please leave me alone or I'm gonna end you.
Hmm.
Damn. Oh,
But
okay.
my
Candace.
mama's people are
What's
a
sad is
lot.
I relate to that.
It's like, why did you make me do that to you? Now I'm so sad.
Yes.
No,
Yes. How could you? You're the victim because you made me break your fucking neck. Like,
right.
what?
And I ain't like that. Like the older I get, the more I get like my dad inside the family. I'm like, all right, I'll stay over here in my own little zone, my sanctuary that
Mhm.
I've cultivated for myself. I'm
Right.
over here in my peaceful little bubble. If you pop my peaceful bubble, I'm gonna pop
I'm gonna
you.
pop your
I ain't
ass.
gonna feel no
Okay.
remorse. I'm not gonna feel no sadness. I'm gonna sit here and do this until the police come. Cause you
Right.
And
should
you
have
know
left me
what?
the fuck alone in the first place.
That
I
speaks to the issue that a lot of black women have when it comes to perception and having a full spectrum of feelings that we're allowed to have. Because if you really pay attention, hey Reganis, what's going on, Pookie? If you really pay
Good morning,
attention to
Christy.
it, hey Christy, hey boo.
That's my
Um,
great nephew.
oh hey baby, how you doing? Come here. Anyway, but like if you realize, like every single one of us on this panel so far has said it in a different way. All of us are very don't start none, won't
That
be
won't
none
be
type of
enough.
chicks,
Mm-hmm.
right?
yeah.
But the point, and this is something that I've been saying to my ex for a long time is like what people tend to only pay attention to is when I hit 10 through 35. No one ever notices the 1 through 9 before I hit 10,
Thank you.
right?
Right.
Thank
Right.
So then
you.
all of a sudden I am a fucking psychopath, crazy Panamanian bitch from the
Yeah.
hood,
Yes.
but
Yes.
Somehow,
nobody
right.
saw me like
Being
but
calm and being diplomatic
Yes.
and saying, well,
Right.
what did I do to make you feel that way? How can we fix it? And
how
then
Yeah.
can we
just keep
resolve this?
poking and poking and pushing and pushing. Now, when I shoot at you, I'm violent. No,
Then
Right.
everybody's like,
you
wait,
should
what
have
had
left me
happened?
alone.
And I had the
You should have
reverse
let me
with my
be calm in
mother.
the beginning, and we could have resolved this in a nice, peaceful way. But
Mhm.
since you
Sorry, Andrea,
wanted
what
Joe from the 1500th block of Cedar, that's what you're gonna get. I could have given
Mm.
you Joanna Shante. That ain't what you wanted. You wanted Joe. So when you got Joe, you wanted to call Joe crazy. No,
Right.
Joe is what you wanted. So now you got it. You say that you got it. I don't give a fuck.
That's real. Now that's
you were
real
saying what,
talk.
That's
Andrea?
that's
Yeah.
well, that's the problem. Like my with my family, my mom was the spitfire, and my father was the calm one, and I always didn't like the relationship because the more bad behavior you had, the more my dad had to appease, and I felt bad for my dad. And that's what I'm feeling with Chris and what's her name?
Candace.
Yes.
Yes, Candace. Like I feel Candace, she's the Spitfire, and the more heated up she gets, the more that Chris has to pretend that she's there. And that's with a lot of our
Mhm.
relationships. There's always the opposites, and that's probably why I'm fearful of relationships. Is that there's always a yin and a yang, but the yin
Yeah.
and yang can sometimes be hostile, like the yang, or I don't know whether it's the yin or the yang. The one who's the peaceful one always has to be dragged down by the one who's the spitfire, and
Hmm.
and it sucks.
Right.
I feel
But
like it's
guys, just I'm
balanced
sorry.
though, too. Like
It's hard with
Oh,
balance.
everything is balanced.
I need to be able to calm you down when you finna go on a
So you're
hundred,
Hmm.
but I also am 100% gonna have your back. And I'm gonna be on 100 right behind you sometimes because I need a person who's gonna be like me. Because I know how to sit down and have a nice, calm, peaceful conversation and get to a resolution.
yeah.
But
Candace
I
don't know
need
how to do
somebody.
that. Candace don't know
I
how to
need
do that.
I
Yeah.
need
She
somebody who
she
is
wasn't taught by her
able.
mama to do that.
I was gonna
See,
say
my
that
Look,
she's
mom,
definitely
okay.
Dorothy.
my mom is 85 years old, and she's a spitfire, and she's still a spitfire. She's
Mm.
moving my brother right now to his new house with a thing on her back, and she's 4'10", and she's moving it. She's a
Come
spitfire.
on, Battle Axe. You better go off,
Oh,
Mm.
girl.
she is. Oh, she is.
I love
And
that.
my dad is the calm one. But I understand what you're saying. Like it's hard, when opposites attract. It's just hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
See,
the
I
you
see
know what
what
I'm
I
saying.
need. Yeah, what I need is somebody not necessarily who can match my level of crunkness
Yeah,
because I don't
yeah.
think that I think that's just downright destructive. But I
I
do need somebody who is going to be able to catch me at 7 to keep me
mm.
from getting to
Pull me
9.
back in.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Really that.
need somebody who's able
Right.
to tap in when they see me at 6 and it's like, wait a minute.
But hold on,
Then when I hit 7, it's like, get in there.
Jordan. But
Hmm.
are you going to do the same for that person?
Oh,
That's what I'm
100%.
at. That's the
100%.
key to everything. It's that there's always going to be a fiery one and one who's not as fiery. But is the
Hmm.
fiery one going to be able to catch the one that's calmer? That's
Hmm.
the key to a relationship. At least that's my observation.
See, I think that I have such a proficiency with that is because I go after men who are calm. Like I like calm men. Like
And
I like
what do
men
you
that can
bring
put
to the
me at
calm
peace.
man?
Right.
And so I really pay attention to their triggers and when
Okay.
they start to elevate past their normal level of expression. Like I pay attention to stuff like that because, you know, I'm a little feisty, to put it
You?
politely. No, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm Shirley Temple, so I don't get what you're saying.
No, you're observant of the room. That's the difference between you and everybody and Candace.
You're right.
Candace not observant of her surroundings. She
Yeah,
just
If it's one
reacts.
thing I will do, it's read a
right.
room.
Very reactionary.
She
Yeah.
don't know how to read a room
At
And
all.
dance the
at
room.
all. No. She just reacts.
She just
With
That's
reacts,
me,
and I
like,
think
Yeah.
that's why they do that to Candace though, because they know she gonna give him
they
reaction.
know that she gonna
Yeah,
give
that's
it,
He's not
and
smart enough to
right.
realize that, and that's
Mhm.
what irritates me. And being smart is not
Bless
about being
you,
educated.
bless you. My God,
And
And
when
I
she
feel
said
like
she's an
that's what
orator, I almost fell out my dang seat.
so what now?
When she said she was an orator, I'm like,
I
girl.
was like, wait a minute, what are you orating? Cause you,
Negativity,
girl,
negativity. There we go. That's
Or,
it.
and
she
I
brought
think
her
that's why
wide forehead ass. No, I'm just playing.
and I think that's what Chris tries to do because he knows her. He's like, oh shit. She
mm-hmm.
already
Yeah,
at 5. Like, babe, calm down.
right.
like,
He
chill
already
out.
know that she
Sit down
walking
because
in
I
on
know you
7, so
finna
he's
be
like, I ain't got but two
that's what I
numbers
want
to catch your
to say.
ass.
exactly.
What I
And I
try to
mean,
figure out.
Down see.
Sorry, guys, but this is important. I always see Candace as my mom and Chris as my dad, and what I'm trying to understand, this is just for me, not from their relationship. What does Chris get out of it? And I'm not trying to be a jerk about this because I've always tried to understand. My dad's the calm one, always trying to make my mom calmer. What is what is I feel bad. What does Chris get out of this?
I
And
think
No,
the
the looks,
simple.
not I'm not saying the looks and not the money, but I mean relationship wise, he's always trying to calm her down. And what does
Mhm.
she calm him down? I don't
I can
understand
speak for
it.
myself on this
Okay,
because
thank you.
I can speak for myself on this, and from my experience, um, men from Chris's wheelhouse and men like
Okay.
um Chris, Eddie, I'm sure it is another one, Eugene
Okay.
Harris from Married to Medicine.
Okay.
They, to put it in a funny way, they like crazy ass women, right? But the
Yeah.
reason why they tend to enjoy that and they put up with that is because they, with the amount of crazy that they tend to provide when they go off, they love them just as hard, if not harder. And I'm
Got
the exact same way, right?
okay.
So just as much as I'm gonna give you in the negative, I'll give you 10 on the negative, but I'll give you 15 on the positive. So the
Got
fierceness that I may cuss your ass out with will be the same fierceness that I will cook you breakfast with.
mm-hmm.
okay,
and
got
Yeah.
You
it.
get what I
also
mean?
I think because he knows the real Candace. And if you think about it, when
That.
Candace first came on Potomac,
She was
she
the
was super sweet. She was
Yeah.
super nice to
Mm-hmm.
everybody. She was
Mm-hmm.
trying to be Ashley's homegirl. She was trying to be everybody's friend. And
Yep.
she thought that she had actual friendships with these hoes
Hmm.
Yeah.
and forgot that
She
this
did.
is
She
a
was
show.
Wendy before Wendy.
Right.
Wendy
She
came
was
in and was Miss 4 Degrees, Miss
Hmm.
Professor,
she
and
was
now she done
being
got her little
winning.
TV legs,
Yep.
and
Candace
now
was
they all flew
being
to
winning.
Thailandia.
So it's like, okay, I tried to be nice to everybody. I tried to be, oh, this is how you gonna do me? All
Yep.
Tat
right,
tat tat
then,
tat tat
cool.
tat tat.
If
Can I
this is
say
the
this?
dynamic that you want to have, that's what we want. That's what we're gonna do. And I think
And that's the
Chris
dynamic here.
knows that they do that purposefully to her. So
Hmm.
he tries to calm her down and be like, they just want a reaction out of you. Stop
Giving
giving
it to
them the
them.
reaction that they want from you, and they'll leave you the fuck alone.
This is
Exactly.
what I was gonna say to Regana's Pink, because they commented and was like, "Do you think there is a genuine love that Chris has for Candace? He seems to always meet her in the middle." You know what Chris and Candace give me? Chris and Candace give me like they met in college, they struggled together, and like they have really been together for a long time. Mind you, I don't exactly know what their timeline is, but they give me a strong familiarity with each other. Like it just it seems like behind closed doors, they genuinely know each other. Like she knows
Yes.
that man knows that woman. And
Mhm.
so regardless of the way the optics look on the outside, that's why he's so comfortable being able to look like he ain't got no damn job, or let these women talk all the mess that they talk about him until they get to the reunion, and he can verbosely speak his piece because he already knows at the end of the day what the situation is. He knows what his wife is doing. So I
Mhm.
think that it's kind of like that thing where like if you haven't experienced like not even a necessary, like maybe they are like twin flames for each other.
I was just
He
gonna
jump
say
in
that.
Mm.
Yeah,
with
I was gonna say that.
because it seems like even though like she is all out, she is wider than all outside, right? She gets busy, she is out here, nobody understands why Chris puts up with her,
Yeah,
but he loves her dirty drawers, and you can
yeah,
tell
But
Mhm.
when he went up
tell
in there. I knew when Giselle came over to their new house, and she was like, "Where Chris at? He ain't made no food. He ain't made no snacks." And he just slapped some fruit together real quick and threw it at her, just to be like, "Okay, girl, here, just to make my wife happy. Here, heifer."
Right.
Like,
yeah.
girl, like what? Whatever is gonna make this smooth and peaceful for Candace, I'm willing to
That's what
do
he
because
gonna
at the
do.
end of the day, our relationship is above all that other bullshit. Like
there's
I absolutely love their relationship. I love Brown Dick Bassett. I do.
Mm.
I
hold
want a
on,
Brown Dick Bassett.
hold
Back
on,
to the
hold
topic of
on,
this live. I want a Brown Dick Bassett.
Jordan,
Period.
hold on,
Please.
Jordan, hold on.
Go
The
ahead.
problem is this: if they want kids, that relationship works and it's flamed
Hmm.
and it's great. But
Due
if
to
they have
his kids in the
kids,
house. Yeah,
Candace is going to be jealous of the Chris's love for that child because that child's love
I
is going to be stronger than Candace's, and Candace will never be able to deal with it.
I think that that's why she's
No,
being so hesitant and
for her
cautious with
kids.
having a baby because I
I
think
think
she
for
knows
her
no,
that.
kids.
and because I know, because Candace is my mom, and Chris is my dad. I
And I
understand
think that
the
she
situation.
understands how much like Dorothy she really is.
She will be,
Yes,
Right.
and
I
Because
think
look
she.
at
with
her
time,
oldest brother. What Dorothy
she's
completely
always
blocked
jealous.
him out because she was
Yeah,
jealous of the relationship. Come on now.
yeah,
Dorothy got issues, and she poured those issues onto her daughter to
yeah,
always
I
need her.
yeah.
I
you
Candace
think
know
that
what my
she
definitely
doesn't.
daughter can
wants to
always
break
say.
some of
I hope
those
you
generational
ever want
things
to have
for sure.
children.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But she's gonna have to get counseling and not counseling from her mama. She's gonna have to
Yeah,
get
That's
serious
the issue. Yeah,
counseling in order for
You
her
yeah.
ever
to
have
ready to do
counseling?
to
that work though. I don't think she's ready to do that work yet. I don't think. I think she
mm-mm,
wants
mm-mm.
to let her career take
No.
off and stuff like that. And
No.
but it's not gonna
I
work.
think what's
It's
going.
gonna
I think
I
that what it's gonna take is when her antics on this reality show stop working for her monetarily, and it starts affecting her music. Once
what
she
time?
realized that people aren't able to really deal with her, and once she starts getting this K Michelle treatment around these
Mhm.
streets because her actions and her antics start outweighing the quality of her music. Because don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, Deep Space is a great album, but she
I was
ain't no
gonna say
damn
she
K
has to be
Michelle.
easy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, vocally she's not there yet. If she keeps fostering it though, I do see it. She could be a really
She has
cute
great
hot woman.
potential.
Yeah,
She has
but
great
again,
does.
potential.
who
Yeah.
she
But
is overshadows all of that. Like, let's just be
and
honest.
and then on top of that, she has not put in the dues and done the work on her music career to be able to carry that. I think the reason why K Michelle was able to get away with that BS so long is because when she put out a record,
It's so
that thing was a record.
Yes.
Like we knew
yeah,
Yes.
if K Michelle can't do nothing else in this world, that heifer
but
can
it's the right
sing her ass
album.
off.
And
Okay,
she writes. She
yeah,
writes.
it's
She
the right
can
album.
write, she can
Sure.
sing, she can
He
play them
plays
instruments, she can
multiple
yodel,
instruments.
Yeah,
like she can
Right.
do her
the
thing.
talent is
And
there.
Candace can carry a tune, and she created a great R&B album. However, We have all seen Candace perform live, and if you haven't, go look at her performance on the Kelly Clarkson show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
it
wasn't. It
doesn't
wasn't good.
give. Like it
It's
her
not that it
live
wasn't
voice.
good. She spent the money, but her live voice, she hasn't, like, she needs cardio, she needs endurance training, she
Yeah.
needs stamina, she needs breath
Right.
control,
It's
she needs to sing
performance
in her full
engineer.
voice and stop trying to sound
Yeah.
What?
cute on stage.
Right.
Sorry, I got a little deep in that. I turned into Brandy. My bad. Hold on.
She
Oh,
needs
that's
to
why
hop
she
on a
didn't sing
treadmill and heels and
for
sing like
Let's
Beyonce
uh
Daddy
support
made
her.
them do.
Out of all the housewives, she's done incredibly well. Let's put it that
She's
way.
had the best
Uh,
music. I will say that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Baby, when they
honestly,
asked her about Ashley's song, and Ashley was like, "I put my foot
Ashley
in
can't
that."
sing.
Bitch,
Ashley can't
you didn't
sing.
even put your forehead in it. Stop it.
Baby
That was
Candace said,
terrible.
maybe if
"I
she did,
did."
it would have came out better because I'm sure her forehead is bigger than
Okay.
her feet.
Okay.
And Ashley got a high.
Coffee
Oh,
love.
yeah. What the hell was that? Like, okay.
A
Ooh.
mess. It
So
was a
annoying.
mess.
On the
It was giving very Paris Hilton. Stars Are Blind.
Mm.
Yes, it
It was
gave
giving very
us
Paris
so
Hilton realness.
annoying. Yes.
Although I actually enjoyed, I used to, that was my jam back in the day.
Coffee and
Like, I
Love.
used to love it.
So annoying.
Absolutely the fuck not.
I was
Um,
like, what you talking about? I was like, what you talking about? Like, wait, what happened? You was
Stars
attracted
Are
to what,
Blind was
Ashley?
my jam.
Annoying.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
Yeah, Stars Are
well.
Blind was my jam. But
Yeah.
yeah, like you were saying, back to the subject. Chris Bassett is the type of white dude I would need. Like I grew up around a lot of them, and I think that being super pro black was gonna be in my blood anyway. But like the
Mhm.
elementary school that we went to in my hometown before we integrated into the white school, 40 minutes up the road, like our mascot was the Black Panther.
Oh, okay.
So they ingrained into us like, listen, in a few years, y'all gonna be over here with all these white people. So we need you to be grounded
Mm-hmm.
and know the excellence that you have within you and that can't nobody take that shit away from you. I'm talking about how much more money them folks got than you. I don't care how many more connections them folks got than you. You go up there and you show the fuck out.
I love that.
I love that. I didn't
Mm.
even see. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't stay until I went to college to HBCU, and I had to beg my mom to let me go to a black school. Like she was not having it.
My negrosity fell out of the sky when I hit my second high school. Cause
Nebraska.
I swear to God, like I was someone, like I didn't necessarily go to black schools, but I went to like, well to white schools growing up. I more so went to like culturally mixed schools, but it wasn't like I was like able to really invest into my black culture at a school that was so culturally mixed because it was black, white, Hispanic. It was a little bit of everybody around, right?
Mm.
And so by the time I hit high school, I would like I always like to affectionately say that I went to Black Degrassi because it was like
Thumbs up.
it was one of the most amazing schools for me to go to. Shout out to Westover Wolverines at 26. Sorry. But um but it was like a predominantly black school. Like it was just I was like it was just I had never been to school with that like just so like just a predominant race of people. Like it was just
Mm.
like for me that was like going to an HBCU because I didn't get a chance to finish college. But
Mm.
there's still time. But yeah, like I
Of
just
course.
that experience. But one thing I'm gonna so let's just clarify where we all are before I
Mm-hmm.
close. Let's just clarify where we are.
Okay.
Joanna needs her a big dick Bassett.
Mm.
Me and Kiki, we need to apparently
World tour.
go on a love tour to Detroit, New Orleans, and Canada, and then
Everywhere.
do a European leg in France.
Don't
Yeah.
forget
And
the
I also
cruises.
want to
I
go to
want to
Cruises.
go to Africa too. Just saying. I
and
specifically Kenya. I want to go to Kenya so bad. Oh my god.
Oh, I've
oh,
been to
I'm with that
Kenya.
shit.
Namibia as well. Namibia is so
I'm with
beautiful.
And
that
I've
Oh my
shit.
been to,
god.
I've been to both. I've been
Listen,
to
Africa
Namibia.
is gonna be a whole nother
I know,
trip
we
by
gotta see
itself
it.
because I
Oh,
want to hit
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell
every
you.
state. I want to hit every part of Africa.
Yeah.
I want to hit. As Raven Simone would say, I want to hit every continent in
Every continent
Africa.
in Africa,
I
right?
want to hit every continent in Africa.
You
Yes,
want to go to
God.
Morocco? Oh my
And you
God.
will,
Oh,
and you will. You'll hit north, south, east, and west, and I've been to both, all of them, and you guys will
yes,
enjoy all
ma'am.
of it. So another time I'll just give you hints because that needs you. I'll give you travel tips because listen, I work for an airline. If I can't give you travel
Yeah.
tips, who can?
Okay.
So we're going on our love tour. We're gonna do the
Yes,
U.S. We're gonna do the North American leg round Detroit and Canada. Then we're gonna do the European
yes.
leg round France, and
All
I
of
gotta stop by Amsterdam because
Oh,
I'm a grown ass woman. Mind your business. And then we're gonna do a whole African leg later on after that. Yes, God. Uh, Andrea, she's gonna be the travel agent. She gonna get us
yeah.
all of the tickets. She gonna be the
I
curator.
will.
She gonna
I,
be the tour guide when we get to Canada. She gonna buy me where all the fine ass Simu Liu looking ass Asian men
yes.
enter in Canada. And Miss
AAA.
Bernice, she gonna keep us in the streets. She gonna keep us together. She's gonna keep us in line. She's gonna tell us all the things that we need to be remembering while we out here showing our
Right.
black asses.
Miss
Mm-hmm.
Bernice is gonna be that. Don't talk to him. There's something crazy about him. Don't even talk to him. I'm gonna see
Exactly.
right
Thank
through him.
you.
Mm-mm.
Nuh-uh.
Thank you. Thank you.
That
She's
as
Thank
gonna
you.
be giving
soon,
very that. No, not him. Mm-mm. No.
exactly.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Yes,
As
No.
soon as she see him,
Yeah,
Miss Bernice,
Like,
exactly.
what you think?
nope.
Mm-mm. Well, what
No.
about this? Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Well, I think he. Mm-mm.
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 It's gonna be that.
Yeah, that's me. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. I'm with that.
for
So it
real.
seems like we're all in a good space. I feel
Yes.
good about
Yeah.
this.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
This is good.
Like
I
as
feel good.
long as I just need you to be culturally aware. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't need you ain't gotta be nothing that you not. I hate the white
Right.
dudes that try so hard to act black. It's like
No,
Dude,
that's
Johnny
wrong.
Appleseed.
dude, no, no, bro, no.
Never
Johnny
did.
That's
Appleseed, what are you doing?
that's
No,
like
that's
that's
not
like
you.
Going.
Come on,
I
Chad.
give you I give you an example. This man came up to me and he said, and he started talking to me. He said, well, you know, I like big women. I said, you didn't have to tell me that, dude. You talking to me.
I can
Yes.
tell.
Woo, and you just got X'd out because you said that
Right.
stupid thing. Okay,
Yeah.
you have a blessed day. Bye bye.
It's like we're having the conversation.
We're
And
having
then
a
on top of that,
conversation. Like,
then it's like if you like to that example, how do you know that I'm not like insecure about being thickums? Like, how do you know that I don't want to look more like Monique than Lizzo? Like, how do you know that I'm not
mm,
going through a journey right now? So for you to be like, well, I like my girls BBW. Well, Drake, thank you, damn it.
mm,
But I'm trying.
Nobody
But she's
asked.
trying to be slim thick today. But okay,
right,
thanks, boo.
Right. Like, sir, no one no one asked you.
right. Nobody asked you
So
that.
Um,
it's not
that's like
it's not
it's
clicking.
the fetishizing for me, like
Yes.
also with men
Can
who
I
are not black.
can
It's
I say,
like
do you need to be around people who don't ask you? Is that what's
Who don't have these questions.
yes.
Like I
right,
need to be around somebody who does not ask me about being trans or being black. All of y'all need someone who does not ask you about what
Toronto.
about female problems or like
Right,
what it's like
Yeah.
being a
Yeah.
black woman. We know like we get like chop, and at the end of the day, if you are asking those questions in 2021, it's an automatic chop for you. Sorry,
right,
exactly. Thank
Yeah.
you,
you're
then.
done.
right. I'm more comfortable around white people who that grew up around black people. You know what questions to
Well,
ask
that's
and what questions
me.
not to ask. Boom.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
mean,
Big
because
Dick
you're
Bassett.
culturally aware and
I
you're
Uh huh.
comfortable. Like the white people that
absolutely.
grew up where I grew up from, well, grew up with me, where I grew up at, are Chris Bassett's.
Right,
So it's like that.
Right.
But
It's like
I'm not
y'all, yeah,
though.
I can do that. Like there were, I would say maybe 25, 30 out of maybe 500 of us,
mhm,
but they were all,
Very Paul Wall
they were
vibes.
very Christian in the way that they were an ally. It was like the little microaggressions that we caught, they caught too.
right,
But in a way that we couldn't be like, I saw what you just did there,
Can I say
Chad.
something
They
about
would be
mhm,
microaggressions?
like, uh-uh. I see what you just did, bro. You not
Mm-hmm.
gonna do that to them because I know exactly. No, I didn't mean that. I know exactly what the fuck you meant by what you said, and they might not be able to cuss you out and get away with it, but I can because we the same color. So let's go.
Right.
Exactly. Now, what was that about microaggressions, Andrea? You were about to say something.
You still
Hello?
there?
Hello?
I'm still here. I think there's a little bit of reverb. Can I say something about microaggressions for a second?
Yeah, baby, of course.
Okay. I find that still I I will probably have microaggressions until the day I die. That's going to happen. And
Mm-hmm.
I try to catch myself at it. I There will never be probably a time where I won't have microaggressions or that's okay. This is the big thing. I grew up in a white community, white family in my my mid 20s, came to the big city, Toronto, worked for an airline, which was POW. Like when you work at an airline in a major city, you have cultures from around the world. And that's when I got excited. I really got excited because, wow, like I met people from around the world, not just from different ethnicities, like race, but from different. I never worked with a gay person. I never worked with a trans person. All of it came around, and I found it extremely exciting. And it's been 20 years now that I've worked in this environment, but I still have my inheritance as growing up in a small town in a white city, and that's always going to be with me. So my coming to you with this question is, when is my microaggression going to be interpreted as curiosity as opposed to aggressive? And that is such a loaded question, but I'm going to say it out there because I'm coming from my heart. Because I really don't believe that I'm really coming from a heart of learning, not a heart of being somebody who is trying to, uh, well, it's out there, and I'm not saying it eloquently, but I'm trying to be as vulnerable as I can be.
No, I get what you mean. I think that everybody is going to have microaggressions because there are things that are learned based on the media that we consume growing up, the environment that we grow up in, and the people that surround us. We get different impressions about different types of people based on stereotypes that surround that type of group, right? Like there are just certain things that people are going to see as black people shit. There are certain things
Yeah,
that we're going to see as white people shit. There are certain things that we're going to see as Asian shit, as Hispanic space, da 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 da. But the difference is the intention behind it, and is it a curiosity or is it a microaggression? Are you just trying to learn about a culture, or
I'm
are
trying
you
to
trying
learn
to play
in
into
earnest.
a stereotype?
I'm trying to learn in earnest because I really, and even before I worked for the airlines, I had a dad that worked in many different sectors, and I was always curious about many different cultures and traveling the
Mhm.
world. And that's what this is about. Otherwise, listen, I wouldn't be on this forum, and and I wouldn't not just be on this forum, but it, it's not about me being on this forum. It's about you accepting me on this forum, Jordan. And that is the pleasure of my lifetime, is that I, you know, sitting here in my late 40s talking to a vibrant young woman from the South in this, forum with many of your friends and allowing me to do it. I feel blessed, and I feel, um, yeah, I feel blessed that you have allowed me to talk to you for the last hours in this session, but other sessions too, that we've shared very personal things. And I want to thank all of you for it. I feel
I
it as a really
appreciate
growing
you.
Aw.
experience to all of you. I love
I
you all.
appreciate that you feel safe enough to even come to us. And
I
I'm
do.
gonna
Of course I
say
do.
us because like we're a
I
whole group here.
understand.
I just happen to be the one that made the channel,
Yeah,
but like
you're
we're a whole group here.
yeah.
So like,
What
but like,
Regina said is completely accurate, I think.
yes,
Like
that
it
was what I
comes
was about to
Hmm.
point to.
that was literally that was the mic drop because it's people can read most of the time, people can read your intention.
Hmm.
Like if it's a thing of,
Beauty.
oh my goodness, like I've never seen anybody's hair that curly. That's so beautiful.
Hmm.
Or
Wrong.
how did you get your hair to do that? And then you reach out and touch it. Like I'm gonna punch you in your face.
Oh,
Please don't touch me.
oh, oh! I gotta tell you about an incident that happened. Ooh, sorry, you just brought
Yeah.
something back. Like, okay, okay.
Yeah.
What? I don't get that. We was in the African study class at Wayne State University, and I had my hair in braids, and another classmate had her hair in braids, and the white girl who was sitting on the side of her, she just kept staring at her hair like, and she looked at me like, is she gonna? I said, I don't know. I hope not. And she said, and she just put her, and then she just said, I said, no, I'm telling her, don't do it. And she gonna just take her hand and just take it through her braid. She didn't ask.
Hmm.
And I'm saying, like, you don't do that, baby.
That's not respectful.
That's not respectful. You ask her. I'm just giving you because she being nice. I said, the average black woman, you touch her hair, she gonna
Would have
come back
probably
and she gonna
slapped the
knock
shit
you
out of
out
you.
Correct.
because you don't do that. So I'm just letting
Cause
you
had
know you
that
don't
been
do that.
me,
But I just wanted to touch it because do you see us going through your hair?
like,
No.
girl, what does that even mean? I just wanted to for
I'm
what?
just I just
Go get a
wanted
damn
to,
perm and touch your own damn hair. The
right.
fuck?
And I'm saying like I said, how many times you been? We've been in this class all semester. How many black women had came up to you and asked you, "Ooh, your hair is just so pretty. Can I touch it?" She said, "No one." I
Yeah.
said, "So why do you think you got the right to ask this woman and violate her? You violated her because you touched her without her permission."
Clock your references, children. Can I
I'm
Okay.
pick? Can I piggyback off of that really quick? Because I want to extend that to like a greater conversation of like, when have you ever seen that happen in real life? Because they always try to, well, the people who try to engage in these conversations negatively are always the ones to say, well, when black women dye their hair blonde or when they straighten their hair or when they do this, are they trying to act white? Well, ask yourself this question. Have you ever seen a black woman come up to a white woman and be like, "Oh my God, I love your hair. May I touch it? It's so
actually,
blonde."
hold on, Jordan. Yes, I have.
When has this happened? Because I'm not saying it can happen, but
It,
I'm just saying
no,
I
but
have
yeah,
never in my life heard of this happening.
not in
It's a lot
America.
more rare.
Not in
No,
America. Okay.
no, not in America. You're absolutely right. Not in
I was
America, but I
saying,
am going to say this. My cousins from Germany went down to Namibia. Now Namibia was a colonized
Mm,
place in Africa, and my cousins stayed there for a year in a camper van, and they were blonde hair, blue eyed kids, and the Africans came and they did the same thing to them. It does happen, but not in the context of what you're saying.
but I think the experience is informed differently. I think that
yeah.
those are
Well,
like groups of people who are not used to being around each other, whereas
Mhm.
in America we're a
yes,
melting pot
that's
of cultures.
Right. We're
You
and
see
all
black
that's
women every
absolutely
damn day.
Exactly.
and
Like we're
Jordan
not
and
Yeah, those
foreign, our
are
hair's not
crazy.
foreign.
and and Jordan, that's why I wanted to point it out, not say
Hmm.
to invalidate what you're saying,
No,
but
yeah.
for those viewers in the replay that are going to say, well, actually, there was an experience across the world or whatever, but you're
I was about
100%.
to say, please comment it because I need to hear about that because that is the difference. That
Yes,
emphasizes the systematic structure of racism that is
yes,
specifically put up in
yes,
America. That
yes,
emphasizes our point. Like
Exactly.
you see, whereas we can have this conversation from a completely different perspective when it comes
yes,
to Germany, but then when it comes here, there's so much negativity that is
yes,
wrapped around the same action. It emphasizes systematic racism and the structure
Mhm.
that we're all trapped under.
Mhm.
Like
You are
that is,
trapped.
I would hope that if we didn't just have that conversation, that somebody would make that comment, because I would be like, thank you for giving me something new to look up, one, and then two, thank you for proving the point of how messed up we really are here, because it
You
can
are.
be that same action can happen and be genuine curiosity because they've never seen it before.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly. And that's
Versus
exactly what.
here, it's just, oh, it's so
I feel
pinky.
entitled to touch your hair because I'm
Right.
entitled as fuck and you shouldn't care. You should be
Because
Exactly.
you've never
glad that
seen
I'm
it on
interested.
television, all of a sudden it's foreign, but you see it at
Right.
school every day, you see it in the workplace, you see it
Yeah.
everywhere else in real life. But because you don't see girls on TV wearing braids, thank God to Candace and Monique. But
Mhm.
that's the one thing that they did right was, damn it, Candace wearing braids during her confessionals and every after show. That was the one thing she did right in that album. But and Marion Brown Dick Bassett. But it's just
I also
the
think like it's that goes to another point of we're not trying to be like y'all. Y'all trying to be like us. Like, sweetie,
Mm.
have you never seen black people with naturally blonde hair and blue eyes? Because I have. I have
it
a
happens.
sector of my
Not yet.
cousins, blonde hair, blue eyed. Some are a few shades lighter, like some are like your complexion, Jordan.
Mhm.
Blonde hair, blue eyed, naturally. And people are
I
like,
have cousins with green eyes, blonde and red hair. Hey,
Yeah.
Jakariana, if you watching this, KOS, that's some of this grown folks talking, but hey.
The
But
green man from Potomac.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
we had a chocolate rainbow from white to um dark chocolate.
And
That's
that's
always
mhm,
black
been.
people. We come in so many different shades, looks, and all of that. Even our eye color changes. Like we're not a monolith, but y'all see us as a monolith because that's how y'all want to perceive us. Y'all
Hmm.
want to believe that we're all the same. And then when you see something that's different, oh, like I'm girl, this is not a petting zoo. Do not put your hands on me.
it's
Like
Right.
an
we are not an
entitlement for
exhibit.
me.
No.
It's
And
always the entitlement
and
for
I'm
me.
sorry
Like,
if I ended my analogy to that, if that was the case. That
no,
was
no, no, no,
I,
not
no,
No.
no, you didn't.
I'm so
we're talking about like historically.
I'm really, putting my not putting myself out there, but I'm really trying to share experiences. And if I've
You're in a safe
offended
space,
any of
babe.
You
you,
haven't offended anyone.
Ooh.
You gave
oh,
No,
us
no,
an
no, 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 no,
example
no.
where someone white went into a predominantly black country where
Mm,
they don't see people like them. So of
yeah,
Mhm.
course they was curious, like her skin is different. Her hair
You
is
made
different.
that action make sense.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
exactly.
And I'm
You
just
just
trying to, like I said, I'm not trying. I'm I love if I wasn't here, I wouldn't be here for many hours if I didn't really have a stake in this, because I really want race relations to be better. It really is important to me. It really,
Mhm.
really is. And thank you for having me here, because
Right.
I
Of
learned a lot
course. Like that's what
and I
this is
appreciate
for
it.
though. Like I don't
Yeah.
want it to be just exclusively
No,
like
not.
a
Not,
monolithic conversation. Like I
not at
appreciate
all.
that there are people who call in and who are willing to call in with such different perspectives and with different POVs. Because if you would have just let me run with that and then somebody would have like commented it later in the comments, I would have won. That I'd have been like, now I wonder if she's found some people in Canada and just didn't tell me about it. Because I don't want you
Uh,
to be like afraid
Jordan
of coming
and I,
off
you
a
are
certain way.
together. Jordan and I,
Like
you're
at
friends by now. We've shared enough.
yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Like I know you at this point. But at the end of the day, I don't want you to ever feel afraid of coming off of a certain way because I think we
No.
all have conversed with you
And
enough
I,
to know what your genuine intention would be.
and that's why I've stayed in long enough to listen, to stay back, but also to speak as well. And I thank you guys for all of it. And it's great. I really feel joyful from it. So thank you
Well,
all.
no problem. Just to piggyback on that, I looked at Colin Kaepernick's docudrama on Netflix. Colin Kaepernick, Black or
Oh, yeah.
White. You're willing to do what his parents didn't do. You're
Mm.
willing to listen to black people and take in what their experiences
Mm.
and to make you a better person. His parents wasn't even willing to do that.
I'm sorry to hear that. Like,
Mhm.
I'm really sorry to hear that because that I think what I've learned as I get older is keep quiet and listen more because that's what's going to help more is to listen more.
I have it tattooed on my back. Lauren Hill said this. I
Oh,
pray more now to understand than to be understood.
Hmm.
yeah.
I live by that.
Yeah,
I
like this is
try
us.
to. It doesn't help. It doesn't work all the time, but I try to. And
Oh, child, me the child. Y'all know I ain't got no damn sense.
This is us. The show gave a really good kind of example of that where the black boy that they adopted, they thought it was random rashes and stuff that he was getting because they were taking him to white barber shops and
Hmm.
they didn't know how to cut his hair.
Hmm.
mm,
So then they were around the pool and one of the ladies that were there had black kids and she was like, "Nah, baby, them just razor bumps. You need to take him to a black barber." And she was like, "There's a difference."
Yes.
Not
Yes.
just
God.
purely from a place of ignorance, like not from a place of trying to be offensive. She just literally had
yeah.
no clue.
No idea.
Right.
And I can say the reverse in that in some ways. A friend of mine who I worked at work at the airport, he suffered a really bad fall and he couldn't go and do a lot of stuff. So I helped him at once and I took him to a black barber. And I came in and he said, "Oh, you can sit there." And I sat there for like, oh, half an hour and went, "This is something I would have never experienced in my life." And it was for me, wow. I'm grateful that he allowed me into it and that everybody else allowed me into it too, because they could have just turned around and said, "Get the hell out, you white chick." They honestly they could have. Come on, like they just looked at him and they looked at me, and he's like, "It's okay, you can sit down." And I really kind of it was a quiet zone. Like they probably weren't as vocal as they normally were, but I would have never experienced anything like that, and
Mhm.
never will again, probably
Right.
in in that capacity. But um, yeah, it was a beautiful moment in for me. I can't say for them, but I can say for me, and that's what I like about traveling and like about being in forums like this. It's beautiful. So thank you
But
for.
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nope, I'm done.
Well, I appreciate what you're saying, and that's another thing that kind of makes it not necessarily frustrating, but that's the other side of the coin of just minorities tend to be more welcoming to allow people who don't look like
Yeah,
them into their
That's what
spaces
I was gonna
than
say.
the other side.
Hmm.
Never the roles are never really reversed.
Yeah.
At least not with welcoming and open arms.
Yeah, because
That
I don't know a barbershop that would do that. Like,
me neither.
yeah,
like,
Like
you're
like,
right.
like they'll just be like, come, sit down, chill, kick it. You want to line up?
Right.
Like, what, like what you
yeah,
need? Cause, like, really in that environment, it's gonna be like all money spends. I don't give a fuck who you are.
exactly.
Exactly.
I mean, and another thing you have to also think about this, like as at a lot of minorities use places like barbershops and hair stores. Those are like community cornerstones.
Hmm.
Those are the places where everybody comes together. It's more of the
That's
environment.
like the rec center. That's like the like community
Yes,
center.
Right.
it is very much collaborative in those situations. So again, like it's not just even about money, just there's it's more welcoming just all together. So I just I want us to get to a place where white people extend the same grace that we do. And
Right.
I don't feel like that is within reach, unfortunately, because people are not willing to learn, people are not willing to explore, people are not willing to give up their privileges. If you really want to get into it, people
Hmm.
know and people are aware that there are certain privileges that are afforded, and And if you are allowing people into our groups, then those privileges aren't there. Those borders don't exist anymore, and there's not anything that separates me from you.
Mhm.
And that's where the problem comes
And
in. People don't want aren't
yeah,
people
and
aren't willing to
sorry,
allow that into their lives.
Kiki, sorry. I heard most of it, some of it cut off. I think it was my reception, but from what I can understand is um what you're saying is that okay, well, I should say, or what I understand from what you said is that it's about fear.
Yes.
And
And power.
that
Not just fear,
black,
but power
white,
as well.
all different colors, and I come, I'm toting from a country. It's all about fear, and there's a lot of fear in the world. And right now, I'm going to put the highlight on your country. There's a lot of fear in your country. I mean, and we have to talk about the pandemic, not in a political way, like should you get a shot, should you not get a shot, all that kind of stuff. But fear has come around the world, and everybody kind of gravitates to their own. And I think there's a lot of fear in your country heightened. I look at, I'm going to be honest. When Bush came along, I would not go to the US. When Barack Obama came, I was dancing in the streets, and I would, had a house in the US. When Trump came along, I got the hell out of there, kind of thing. So it's about fear for me. And I think that's what a lot of problems in the world. I almost said the states, and that's my fault, but I own up to that. But there's a lot of fear, and with racism, there's a lot of fear.
That's how we ended up with Trump in the first place. Had Obama not been elected, Trump would have never got into
You're
office.
right.
Mhm.
It
Exactly.
Right.
was, damn, we got a lot looser of a grip on this country than we
Exactly.
thought we had.
Yeah.
Because they
So
let
can
a
I
black
say
man in this
this?
office. So
Before a
now,
white woman. Think about that. They let a black man in office before a white woman. That shows you a lot.
But
That's a whole other talking point right there.
but you
it
guys have to
is.
understand. You have to get ahead of this because now, Barack Obama's backlash was Trump. What is the backlash going to be for a white Biden?
It's already been a lot. Um,
Yeah.
not surprised. I don't think it surprises anybody that's black, but it's already been a lot because they see him as less of, okay, we got another white president, and more of, oh hell, he's just an extension of Obama. So
Yeah.
they
And
cannot stand him either. And the patriarchal part of America is why Hillary was not elected
Yep.
with the Electoral College, and why we got Trump, which is another reason that, as a politician, I can definitely speak to this. We need to abolish the Electoral College. Like, I've been sick of that since the first time I ever cast a vote for a president, which was for Obama. I'm like, but wait, even if the majority of America votes for him, if the regional lines are drawn in a way that don't allow the electoral college to vote for him too, he's still not going to be president. And
yeah.
people looked at me like I was losing my fucking mind, and I was like, y'all just don't understand. And then it happened with Hillary when she got millions more votes than Trump, and he still got to be the president. And people were like, I don't understand. I was like, I tried to tell y'all this some years ago.
Right.
Yeah. There's yeah, your electoral or your voting is a huge problem in some ways.
Yeah, it's
And that
definitely a huge problem in a lot of ways. The way that congressional lines are drawn, which is why
yeah.
I always tell people, you need to vote in every election that comes up, period.
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody has to.
because the
Exactly.
people that you elect to represent your city and represent your state, those are the people who can
Those are the people who are
decide.
representing you in the White House.
Mhm.
Exactly. Those are the people who decide, okay, this county here has 10,000 people, but we
Yeah.
know it's going to be real Democratic.
Oh, there's
So we're
smoke.
only going to give you two representatives. Whereas this county right here has 5,000 people, but we know they're Republican. So we want to
Yeah.
keep them in. So we're going to give
Right.
them 12 representatives. They draw the lines that way so that they can rig the votes, so that they can rig the elections purposefully.
Yeah.
And
And
it's a
Exactly.
that's
mess.
what has to be recognized and fought against. It's not because, your bipartisanship is, or your partisanship is really drawn the lines. We know who pretty much is going to vote. It's your swing states, it's your electoral colleges, it's those that you have to concentrate on. And here, I'm from Canada and I'm worried about what happens to you guys, because what happens to you guys affects me. And I'm not trying to be um I'm being selfish about it. I'm not going to
Mhm.
say like, "Oh, it's, your problem." It's my problem too, because how you guys vote affects me, because how my country ran in the last years when Trump was, it was completely different to what's happening now. And what the
Yep. They
G7
always say that the president of the
and
United States is the
NATO and
leader of the free
everything
world.
affects.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And I'm not ashamed, but I'm not blind to that. Like, I can't say that my country to the south has nothing to do with me. You absolutely do, and of course I'm dialed in, and I want you to be dialed in to us too.
And
We
it's the
we
world. Crazy enough, it's the world.
it
Literally,
is.
it's the entire
Mhm.
world because there's a huge difference in the way Bush ran things and his international trips and his international diplomacy versus the way Obama ran things and the way that he did things diplomatically. The leaders of which countries he chose to go meet with and make treaties with and have deals with and put the United States in partnerships with versus the way that Trump did it. Like
It's
it's
about
literally going to affect
it's
so
about
many more people than
dictatorship.
just the United States.
It's about dictatorship. If Trump comes in again, or if he doesn't come in again, it's about him saying, I don't want to be, I've lost the election, everything else. And the whole January 6th thing again comes. And we don't want that again. And it's important for everybody to stand up and be part of it. But I know this conversation's not about that. And I'm sorry to put that on. And I see
Mhm.
Mocha Rain is in there, and she says Jordan's hair looks amazing. And if
Don't it
Mocha Rain's
Thank
always?
you.
and if
Hey,
Mocha Rain's in
Mother
here, it means that it's somewhere like at 4 o'clock in the morning somewhere. So I hope Mocha Rain is awake and doing well.
Yes, she's in
I
Australia.
hope you are right. Thank you so much, babe, but I appreciate it. But this is actually like a perfect place to close because I love like as I said before, like this conversation like the way that my lives work is I start based in a specific topic and then I encourage personal conversation. I encourage conversation based on personal experience to expound the subject. So we started on an- so we started on interracial dating, and we went to racism, we went to colorism, we went to intersectional politics, we went to feminism, we went to all of the things just within this one conversation, and now we're closing it with international affairs.
Oh, baby,
Like
we
I
ain't
feel
never
like
gonna
that's
just stay on
impactful.
topic.
Right. Exactly.
Never.
But I feel like that's more impactful is if you have a broader conversation because I'm the type of person that I like to put YouTube on as like background noise. So whether I'm actually paying direct attention to what's playing or not, like I like to just have it playing in the background. So these type of conversations, just imagine me like cleaning my house, playing this type of video, just in
Mhm.
the background, and the brevity of topics that are being covered. I think it it
Me too.
serves the audience more than just talking about one thing for this amount of time. Can you
Yes.
imagine us talking only about interracial dating for 3 hours?
Oh no, I put on my funkadelics when I want to clean up myself.
Oh, well, that's fair. I appreciate that. I, I actually used to clean to Midnight Star all the time, so I get it
Ooh,
completely.
yeah.
I grew up listening to my
Hmm.
auntie because I be stroking every
Hey,
Saturday
hello.
morning. She used to do her cleaning. So yeah.
That's what I be. Oh,
I
And
be
I be.
stroking. Yes.
You know what?
Me.
Speaking of,
for
let me get off of here because I gotta text somebody back too. You know what?
Oh,
Thank y'all for being here. Because I'm about to, cause listen, you know, listen, speaking of, let me get up. Praise God. Thank you for all of y'all for
one
being
hand
here.
on
Thank you,
frontal,
Andrea.
one
Thank you,
hand on
Kiki. Thank
neck.
you, Miss
Okay.
Bernice. Thank you,
Yes.
Joanna. Thank you to all the people watching. I now have to go eat something and then
Same.
go put my hands on my knees and do some thought shit. So,
Okay.
And don't forget your homework.
with the,
Cruises.
oh, trust me,
We need to look into
I
that.
have been on my laptop while we've been talking, so I got some
hello.
percolators percolating, and you know,
Okay.
Kiki, we gonna be on the
Storm got
okay.
boyfriends in Toronto waiting for him.
What about me?
Listen, well, tell him to call into the chat. Well, not to this chat. I got another one maybe tonight that I might move to tomorrow
Okay.
because I be doing these lives like long as fuck. But I appreciate it because I actually go back and like I started watching these now. But
Just go ahead and do
like,
another live because I wasn't here for the majority of this one. So
Right.
yeah, I'm gonna need you to do another one.
well, then I'll be back at 7. Um, so with that being said, I'm finna go eat something and then I'm finna go get something eaten and then I will call you guys back at
Period.
7 o'clock tonight. Mind your business. I'm grown. Kiki.
Bye bye.
Oh.
but with that being said, thank you
Love you
all for
guys.
being here. Andrea, Kiki, Miss Bernice, Joanna. I love y'all
Been
so
so
much. Y'all
nice.
know
Love
us
you
three
all.
probably finna go get in the DMs. So I'll see
Mhm.
y'all on Twitter.
Love you all.
Oh, love you.
And love you guys so much.
Bye
Mhm.
bye.
Love
Bye
you.
bye.
Talk to y'all soon. Y'all behave yourselves. And by behave yourselves, I mean do some freaky hoe shit with somebody you love. And with that being said, I appreciate you all. I am your host, Jordan Renee. This has been Justifiably Jordan. This has been Interracial Dating, the spectrum of love, and obviously spectrum of conversation. So, with that being said, I'm gonna head out. Thank you guys so much. Peace. Bye, baby gorgeous.